Welcome and Happy New Year from the Tales of the Dark Side crew, your Star Wars news and weekly comic recap presented by Renovision. The show that survived 2021 is looking strong for 2022, but would prefer the good old days of 4ABY. Yeah, because those Ewoks really know how to party. Tonight, we're covering 2 Star Wars comics, High Republic Adventures 13 and Bounty Hunters 19. Stand by for news and the latest collectible releases. We've got a loaded panel tonight, here to talk the good and maybe the bad of 2021, and of course to discuss episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. Oh, and some of our viewers sent in their Star Wars thoughts about 2021 as well. And yes, we're going to have the final results, or round 1 results of our fantasy Fett game. Let's get it going.
I'm already debating it. I call
Sif, Darth Lopez here. What I'm looking for.
Go. Why is it not going?
Well, good thing.
Sif, Darth Lopez here. What I'm looking forward to in 2022 is Acolyte. Anything Sith, anything Star Wars. I want rumors, casting news, synopsis. I want the era that it's really going to be in. Want Kathleen Kennedy fired and removed as well. I think that's about it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
So after that intro, we had to bring him on the show. But Jedi, why don't you go around the horn and tell everybody who's here?
Okay, well, this is going to be the best intros, according to me, from 2021, and a few new for 2022. He's that cocky pilot of the best Star Wars show in the galaxy. You know him. You know he made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, but did you know he did it with the parking brake on? It's Macho Man Marco. He's the creator of such YouTube show titles as Dollar Bin Digging and Forgotten First. A lot better than the original show titles that he considered, like I'm Done Looking, but I'm going to stand in front of this long box to annoy the guy behind me. And my favorite, dang it, I forgot what I was looking for. I knew I should have made a list. It's the visionary Pete Renovision. He's a professor of prophecy and canon. His courses include Retcon 101, Disney Doesn't Care, Retcon 202, They Just Want Your Money, 303, what the hell, that ain't canon, and 404, so what if it pisses you off? Like I said, Disney doesn't care. It's the guy behind the curtain grading your papers, JJ Maxwell. He was hired by the Empire to head their military downsizing. Well, jaws dropped when he unveiled their new army of Funko Pops. Probably not the downsizing that the Emperor had in mind. Oh well, it's Domtober and the hunt is on. Shiicho, Makashi, Sarisu, Ataru. These are Jedi lightsaber fighting styles that he could never learn as a Padawan because he was constantly in trouble with Master Yoda for losing his lightsaber. So instead, he mastered the Shushimhaiden discipline. Sounds kind of legit when said quickly, but slow it down and pronounce it slowly. It's shh, I'm hiding. Yep, that's me, Jedi Johnson, 22.
How'd you sneak in a dad joke, bro?
I don't know much about this next guy, only reports that he dislikes anime, especially Star Wars anime. So I think we can be friends. Coming all the way from Team Nerd Herd Podcast to be here tonight, it's Rogue Slaw.
What's up?
Welcome, JR.
Thank you.
As a young Sith Lord, he was known to chill out in Vader's meditation chamber when the Supreme Commander was away. He once burnt popcorn in the Dark Lord's microwave and ordered pay-per-view on his DirecTV. He blamed it all on a stormtrooper named Gary. Rest in peace. Dick move, man. That's Darth Lopez.
Thank you. Hello.
And he's probably going to join us later, we think. But he was a flying wingman for Luke in the Death Star trenches during the Battle of Yavin. It was thrilling until he woke up in the back seat of an Uber with Cheeto dust in his beard, yelling, "Kid, let's blow this thing and go home." We think he may be banned from Uber now. We're not sure. And hopefully he'll show up. It's Brian. They're out there. McClay, let's go.
Well, I don't know if you guys caught it last night, but MCM went a little bit long. So, but we did have some other people coming in. I'll tell you this, we're a little bit light this week. A lot of people have been having too much fun during the holidays and maybe caught a couple of things or two. So, but we've got some great people here. We talked Darth Lopez into coming on. He didn't want to do it. He just sent us a video. And then after he found out how easy it was to do the video, got hooked. So we really appreciate Lopez here. Speaking about people who we appreciate, also JR. But the chat, Astro, I hope we took care of that. I think we did. We've got there. I think Astro submitted a video, so we should have that.
I figured it out. I figured out a workaround.
Thank you very much. That too. Sam is ready because I know that he's ready for the point system, which is very confusing somehow. To the point that I think the whole show almost quit on me because I questioned the point system to a T. That was also directed by my partner Eric, because if we're not in first, then everybody else is. Everybody else is cheating, I'd like to say. So there we go. Good to see you, Geek Astronomy. It's good to see you. Dusty, I think we got a video from you too. We will be springing those in between our segments. Joe, happy to have you. I know there's somebody here for the algorithm, but we're not getting to him yet. Man, we got a full house. I think the new intro thing works out well. Ninja, good to see you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we got some Team
Nerd
Herd regulars.
We're going to start it. We have a problem with some of our commercials. Apparently, YouTube's giving us too many commercials. We've had a lot of the live chat ask us to do a little intro before it spikes up. Dave Scott, good to see you. Eric, good to see you. Wow. Sam, what's up? Obi. All right. Hey, listen, guys, you're going to have to start getting here sooner and sooner. I'm just telling you. Ed, thank you for saying hi for the algorithm. Thomas, good to see you. And we will get to the rest of you. Oh, David Scott. Did I mention David Scott yet? No?
Nope.
David? Yeah. It's David from Wither? Lopez, you already got a fan.
Whittier, California.
Oh, nice. Glenn, good to see you. Joe, jeez.
Did you get Joe?
Joe, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe, for the $2.22 super chat. We really do appreciate it. Glenn, good to see you, but he's not really even saying hi to us. Kyle, I'm glad to see that you're doing well. I sent out a text. I know. I sent out a text to Kyle saying, like, yo, you good? He goes, yeah, you good? I was like, I didn't stay up that late. He's like, 8.5 hours, bro. 8.5 hours, and I'm good. So hit those Pedialyte or whatever
on the internet from your liver transplant surgery.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but whatever, dude. Good to see you, Anthony. Good to see you over here too. We really do appreciate it. All right. With that being said, let's start it off with the comic portion. We're gonna do news. We'll start off with news. We'll show you another video in comics, another video. Then we'll get into the Mandalorian review eventually, and then you'll hear me yelling about a fantasy point system that I don't understand. Okay, Pete, right, ready for news? Please do.
All right.
I think I just have too many things open.
Hey, Joe's trying to make us blush here. If I could pay for 50 different streaming services, I damn. First off, pony up for some premium content. I appreciate that, Joe. I really do appreciate that.
There's a lot of streaming services.
That's a lot of streaming services, bro.
Jeez.
All right.
So first up, just a quick reminder that at the beginning of the year in 2022, High Republic Phase 1 comes to an end. So you got 2 new novels launching. You got the young adult Midnight Horizon novel and Claudia Gray's Fallen Star. So that's the first one out January 4th. So just a couple days.
JJ, refresh me. I know, everybody here knows that I'm a huge fan of Gray and everything she does. I like her. She's one of the top writers in my opinion on this stuff. Have we? I know Older's comic is doing well. Have we seen what else did he write?
He wrote one of the children's books, but he has not written a
Is that what he
novel
did?
yet.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I thought he
He's
did.
written this one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll you know what we'll do? We'll give you guys a review on that one. We're obviously going to review the Gray book, but we'll also give you a review on Jose's stuff too. So Daniel,
Yeah, I got to double check. I pre-ordered the Audible for that.
If not, I know somebody who's got some extra credits. Wink, wink.
I got plenty of credits.
Yeah. Thomas, what's going on? Yeah, you're looking forward to Falling Star. I am too, man. I think Gray is one of the best writers out there, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. She does a really good job with character development. So, all right. Anybody else? Nope. Good.
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Yeah, like I said, just got to double check. I got it pre-ordered, but I'll try to listen.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it, so hopefully it's good. Should be.
Yep.
Dude,
Should
that's
be.
fun. Dusty, that is really good. You guys don't get a chance to listen to the Star Wars radio drama of 81.
Mhm.
All right.
Moving on.
So just a reminder, in 2022, we'll start phase 2. There are 3 phases, so everyone knows. So Quest of the Jedi is phase 2. Still don't know all the content. There hasn't been any comic solicits or anything that I've seen yet, but it's going to be out there eventually. So
And then Trials of the Jedi, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Guess phases are going to be a year then.
It seems about a year cycle, yeah.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Alright.
They have phases and then they have waves. So there was 2 waves of phase 1. My guess is there'll be 2 waves of phase 2.
Do you think you don't think they're going to extend it? You don't think they pushed some of Phase 1 together because they missed the launch originally and just squeezed it in?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It
they'll
seems like
really love to suck it out for whatever they can get it for. So
Yeah.
Well, and I thought they were saying it's like 5 years. They planned out like 5 years altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got to probably start dragging out maybe a little bit of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see where the middle's longer than the beginning and the end. You got a lot of characters introduced now. They can flow a little bit better, probably.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, too, maybe they'll give us more meat and potatoes on this in the sit stuff. But yeah, go ahead. What's next?
So coming up next year for video games in the Star Wars world, not a lot. But no, it's going to be an interesting year. You do have the Lego Star Wars saga, which talk about things that have been delayed. I think it's been delayed like 3 years almost now at this point. The Star Wars Hunters got delayed, but it should be out next year in this year, I guess.
They had most of that
already.
stuff done already for Hunters. I don't understand why they don't drop.
A
don't
lot
get
of stuff's just being delayed.
Yeah.
But it's going to be mostly a mobile game, mobile and
What's
Switch.
over, Zaggy?
And we don't know the release date for the KOTOR remake. Hopefully this year, but probably not. Titled Ubisoft Project. Who knows? And then Fallen Order 2, still not officially announced. Eclipse looks... I've seen everything from Eclipse target date being 2024 to 2026. So it's a ways off.
2026. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in my 60s before this stuff comes out.
Some of this stuff's, I mean, Eclipse. I don't know. Eclipse sounds good, but I don't even know if Eclipse is going to make it. I think that might hit the chopping block floor before we even get it.
Yeah, starting to sound like
It might.
1313 to me.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Like I said,
And-
sometime we got to do a segment on canceled Star Wars games. It'll be longer than you think.
They already did the remake. Didn't they already get the remake out for PlayStation or something for the KOTOR or no?
Nope.
They still haven't got that shit out
They've
yet?
re-released it. They've re-released like the original, but not the
Holy
remake.
Shit.
Are they
The
going to
remake
do the
doesn't even
same
have a
thing?
date yet.
Oh
So-
my
Are they going to do
God.
the same thing as Final Fantasy VII, where they remaster the whole damn thing? And
Yeah, supposedly
Yep.
it's a full remaster. Supposedly
That's what it is. Yeah. So
We'll see.
yeah, 1313 logo, right? Yeah.
Yep.
For the 13.
Yeah.
yeah.
It is. That's what he's got over there. So, what do you mean? It's
All right.
Inja, what do you mean it's not a remake? When they're remastering it, the public remake, it's not. It's not. No,
I think
it's
he
not
means
a
the
remake,
newest
yes.
release is not a remake.
I believe it's a she, and no,
Yeah.
yes, that's what she's saying. She's saying the exact same thing.
All right, moving on.
Which brings us to the next thing in video game news: the lack of news from EA, who once had exclusive rights to Star Wars games. So, Fallen Order 2 is not officially announced. They gave a big hint in August that they would probably do Fallen Order 2, but no news on a Battlefront 3 and no news on a Squadron sequel. So, it looks like those may never happen.
Which sucks because Squadrons was okay, and they were. You can't blame them for what happened. Well, you can, but you can't really blame them for what happened to Battlefront. It was pretty good, and then at the same time, you start to have a different genre of games take over the landscape. So,
it was very I mean, it was a good game, but it got horrible, abysmal reviews to start with, mostly because of the microtransaction deal.
Yeah,
People just railed against that.
Right, but that was in the era of like they hit the worst
Mm-hmm.
part. They hit when microtransaction was on its way out. Like it was just it hit a peak. Right after a peak, it dropped steadily, and at the same time, you were having free to play like, like Warzone and Pub and all that come out. So it was the worst time for them to do what they did.
I agree with
the ship a little bit, but
I agree with Glenn there in the chat that I do welcome them losing their exclusivity. I think Ubisoft
competition breeds innovation.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say that, but we've all played Star Wars games before, and I think that
it could go bad, but I'm ready for something a little different. I would like to see them continue like Fallen Order. I thought was good.
See, that's why I thought when they went Fallen Order, I thought that was different. Like that was nice to give a different spin on it. And actually, even their air pilot game, the Squadrons, was pretty good too. So I figured. I mean, they hit 2 out of 3. It's better than some things I've seen out there. But whatever, give it a shot.
Yep.
We're just gonna keep remastering old games, anyways. I guess. So.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So that was video game news for the new year. So this is fun. I don't know. Warp Zone is the name of this YouTube group, and this is the first time I saw it. And I went back and I watched their other videos. They're pretty funny. They have like a series of Office Star Wars Nerf gunfight videos, and this actually features. So I think they get professional actors probably to do it, but it featured some actually really good fight choreography for Star Wars. It's like probably better than some of the movies, honestly. And you saw some guest appearances there from Marco's favorite. I think that's Kyle Katarn there and Mara Jade. So
Mara Jade,
fun cosplay. But, go to Warp Zone's YouTube and watch this video. It's a pretty good one.
This Wayseeker, this is the problem. Do we though? Maybe not better. Do we even get more games? Usually we just get teased with games that are supposed to come out and then never come out. So
yeah.
I don't even know. All right. Well, good. This is good that they're going all the way back for this.
And so another tidbit of news. This novel, the Phasma novel's been out for a while now, but apparently when Book of Boba Fett dropped, the author was on Twitter and said she's ready to do more Phasma stuff. So
please don't.
I actually didn't read this. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Nope. If you read, hey, did you ever read Tarkin?
No.
Well, Tarkin's really good.
Tarkin's good.
Yeah.
Is it the same author?
If you read
good.
Phasma's a broke man's Tarkin.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'd like to see them expand on the character.
Let me say, yeah, JR, go ahead.
They need to do something to redeem this character. I mean,
they
she's
did,
supposed to
but
be like a badass, but she's garbage.
Right, but all this lady did was rewrite the Tarkin book with a female stormtrooper type thing. I mean, the Cardinal stuff was pretty good.
Yeah,
the Cardinal stuff was. Pretty
I
good.
haven't.
I don't know.
I haven't read any novels. I've read the comic that they put out about her, and you talk about a character that you would just love to hate. I mean, I read that entire comic just wanting her to drop dead every page. She's just terrible.
Yeah, I think it's the backstory I had the problem. So the majority of the novel that they do with Phasma, and correct me if I'm wrong, JR, but it's been a while since I've read it. But like they did the whole starting off in her backstory is very similar and mirrored to Tarkin's. And when they did that portion of it, I just was chugging through it going, oh my God. Then by the time you got to the Cardinal stuff, you're like, you like Cardinal, but
yes,
is it because Cardinal was written well and Phasma was written like shit? Maybe that was it. I mean, maybe it's just I don't like this this writer, but
I think the problem is that in the movies, the character in the movie is just garbage. When you create armor that is built out of a spaceship, it should be able to take more than a butt of a gun. You know what I mean? It shouldn't crack to that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, so
yeah, but how's that? But how's the book? I mean, the most that we have now is a comic that's okay, I guess, and a book that was not good. Like that's where a lot of Star Wars lore comes from. That's where they're supposed to build characters up. I mean, even like Boba Fett, no matter what you say about it now, like people are re-getting a new thing, but like nobody knew about that character. It was all the fan fiction and all the stories in the comic books and in the novels that ended up making him a real badass character. I know everybody's like, yeah, because we saw him on cartoon. No, the cartoon was way different than the TV show guy. Like, let's not. I mean, we all like to rewrite history, but like in this one, they had the opportunity to make her better.
They did.
And Dawson didn't do that.
So I can't weigh in on that.
Yeah, same here.
I don't know. I think they probably could. I think they did Vi showed about this too, because that was the other two book that spun out of this, had Cardinal in there. I think if she's got plans with Phasma, maybe not a first order Phasma, maybe strip her down and have her do something else. Should be interesting as a bounty hunter or something.
She did the other book with Cardinal in it. She didn't do the other book with Cardinal in it.
She did the other. Maybe she didn't, but I know Cardinal. I mean, they basically carried over. I'd have to go look at it again.
I'd have to look at it too, but I think she actually didn't. That's why I think I like Cardinal so much, was because that's when they build up his storyline, which sucks because like that's the worst part about it. She got screwed with her storyline, and then they created this like really cool
Ryan
character.
Johnson.
Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said Ryan Johnson.
Johnson does good things. Get out of here. Stop with your nonsense.
You're gonna upset Ruben.
No, he's gonna be all over the
Ahorn. Yeah. The book is about how Phasma survives.
Yeah.
Oh, I read this. Yeah. Please do read this book, guys, or listen to it. Well, because
I'll give
it's
it
not good
from this perspective. I'd like to see them
do something better with her. Yes.
Well, yeah. This is what Legends was to me before it was actually Legends. When it was regular, like you'd read these novels and it would take these C or B characters in Star Wars that you kind of didn't really care about and make them good characters by expanding on them and making their story, fleshing their story out, making it much better. I don't know whether or not this is the book to pick it up or the writer to pick it up, but I'd like to see them do more stuff like this.
I'm not sure, Justin, by the way, I'm not sure this is the truth. I'm not sure this is the truth. I'm not sure you actually do want to see it all on screen. I mean, some of this stuff is just like, yeah, I mean, it's character building stuff that like is good for the deep divers, but like, I think that will ruin the,
well, let's not forget Solo. Solo. That was one of the knocks against Solo was that they were doing too much, too fast. And they even pushed up Solo release date to get closer to everything else. And they came out and they kind of bombed. And everybody's like, it's too much Star Wars too fast. We don't want it that fast.
Well, I think that also got kicked in the nuts because of Star Wars Episode 7.
Yeah.
Or of 8, I mean.
Well, they also switched the writer and director.
Swapped directors and
but
it's a good movie.
Blackspire was written by Dawson, though.
Yeah.
Was it?
Cardinal book, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so maybe she can redeem herself. Solo, I think that's it. I think that's a good comparison, though. Like, I like Solo, and I know there's a lot of fans that did actually like Solo. But when people are like, yeah, I want to see everything on the screen. Okay, well, then you liked Solo, right? Like, because that's what you're going to get with some of this. Like, I love Tarkin, but I love the Tarkin book. If they did Tarkin on the screen, I'm not quite sure everybody wants to watch that, to be honest with you. I'm just not. I don't think.
Yeah, that's a little different, though.
Yeah.
Tarkin's a dirty old man.
We've spent way more on this news.
I know. All right, let's go. Next up. No, it's good.
All right. We lingered a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Now to the fun one. So people probably really know this, but I included in the news in case anyone doesn't know it.
Yeah.
This is a great scene.
There's a famous Parks and Recreation Star Wars filibuster scene where Patton Oswalt's character is basically giving his version of how Boba Fett should escape the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
And it turned out being ridiculously similar to what we actually saw, which we'll get to later. But yeah, it was pretty great. And he gave his reaction on Twitter to say that, it rocks and you're welcome for the story.
I think that Filoni and Favreau did this on purpose. They did it. They seen this.
They very well could have.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, they were executive producers. They didn't write the episode or direct it, so you'd have to give that to Rodriguez.
No, Favreau wrote it.
No, he wrote.
Favreau?
No,
I thought
the middle
Favreau
ones.
wrote it.
I think he did the middle ones. I think he goes 4 and 5.
No, he wrote this one.
I think he wrote this one.
Maybe he did this one. All right.
Well, it's kind of funny because Favreau is a funny guy. Look, he got Bill Burr to be in Star Wars, and he used to trash the Star Wars people. So
yeah. It is funny how he does that stuff.
That's another good story. Is if you ever tune in, I think it was it Fallon or one late night talk show was on. He talks about how he got into the Mandalorian. It's a pretty funny story.
Yeah. It's really funny. No, that's a good one. All right. Well, this is cool. I mean, I thought this was hilarious, and it went around everywhere.
Yep. And you can see the scene on YouTube or whatever. But if you haven't seen it yet, and you've seen Boba Fett episode 1, go back and watch this scene.
The filibuster's so funny. Dude.
This story he was saying was the Gauntlet of Infinity when Marvel and Star Wars collided.
That's right.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah. It's worth a watch.
Yes, even if I like Park and Rec, so I thought it was good, but I think anybody can enjoy it.
Yep. Now this is a story Marco will get mad at me for because I keep bringing it up in the news over and over. But the question must be asked. There seems like slowly more and more dates, especially in March and April, are opening up. So it seems like more and more people are canceling. But let's not forget, it could be unrelated to other things as well. There is kind of a pandemic type thing going on.
There's a lot of cancellations going on around. So, I mean, once again, you forget I don't want to do this. Like there's no way I don't cosplay, so this is not appealing to me.
It's not for me
whatsoever.
This is the best time to go.
No, there's never a good time to go cosplay.
No, but there's nobody there. That's the best time.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's even open.
Well, there's not going to be nobody there. And then you got to compare yourself to the people who are there.
It's actually not open yet, Astro. So, but no, from everything they've shown in the videos, it does not quite look like the concept art inside. Looks a little weird.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Yep. So I don't know how true this was. I actually didn't bother to check on Disney Plus to see if they pulled Freemaker Adventures. Yeah,
that's garbage.
I'm gonna look and see, but I assume with the new year, it's got to be some sort of rights deal or license deal, because I think the shorts or whatever I think are still up. But yeah, so
they were supposed to. They do what they turned it to, but they took it out of canon because it was too fun or something. So I don't know if they're just trying to erase it. No, it's fun. If you've ever seen this before, they like laugh at themselves a lot and make fun of. I mean, they make fun of a lot of stuff. That's what the Lego shows should be. Like they've always been that way, and they should continue. So.
And I don't care if they're not canon. Who cares? It's the Lego shows. Like it's not like they're taking it all that seriously. But.
Well, originally they were supposed to be, and then they like. Somebody got butt hurt, so whatever.
Anyway.
Yep.
Speaking of which.
Yeah. So apparently this was a deal a number of years ago. Like there was a Rolling Stone article. I went and actually started to research a little bit. There was a Rolling Stone article from 2015. But I guess Michael Jackson was really into wanting to play Jar Jar Binks. Like I guess the nickname came from Jackson and Lucas, like an interaction they had. So yeah. But he didn't want to do just like a voice or anything, and Lucas decided to go a whole CGI route, which the whole prequel trilogy was almost entirely CGI. So instead of doing any kind of makeup traditional stuff, but
this just tells me not all news needs to be reported.
See, you got to wonder: would it be better or would it be worse? It was pretty bad. The Jar Jar Binks we got was not great.
I didn't think it could get worse, but I don't know. I think it could get worse.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's kids or not kids. There's young people that like that character, dude.
Yeah.
It's not for me, but I mean, like,
yes. And I should mention that was beyond.
But I don't think it would have been good if Michael was in it. Period.
Yeah,
like,
no. It would have been a little weird.
Have you ever seen that, like the Yellow Brick Road that he did that one time? The Wizard of Oz with the Wiz.
Oh, the
Wiz.
Oh, the Wiz.
Well, he wanted to be Peter Pan. He wanted to be Spider-Man. He wanted to be Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, me too. I want to be all them people too. And a Darth and some other things. Yeah, it's cool.
He had a position.
If I had the pull to be in a Star Wars movie, if I had the inside track with George Lucas at that time, like not the thing I would have picked to be Jar Jar Binks.
Dude, it would be funny if he was the like
gets to be Mace Windu and Michael Jackson picks Jar Jar Binks.
It'd be funny if Jar Jar was a Sith though, and Michael Jackson was the one that played with it. I think that would have been a good play.
That would have been pretty funny.
Well, fucking won. Yeah, it's a win. What's going on, Steve Horn? By the way, Mass Range Fag. Okay, so that's it for news. So do we have a video there? Pete?
We can. Well, who did we want to throw up next?
Let me see what the list says. It says news, then Dusty is up next.
All right, we got this is not quite a year-end thing. This is just a nice little video.
Altar Fallen Comrade. Sorry, we appreciate you guys at least trying to make it. We're sorry you guys couldn't make it. So, all right, go ahead. Hope you feel better. Soup, clear liquids, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a doctor.
Hello, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy New Year, and Happy Wookiee Life Day to the Dark Side crew and all the chat. This is Dusty Baker and my faithful co-pilot Trey. I just want to say I've really enjoyed the show this last year. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. And now, my gift to you. Luke, I know what you're getting for Christmas.
No, that's not true. That's impossible.
I have felt your presence.
That is good, man. That was good. I
the
dig
vine
the
was a little
shirts.
low, but
And I dig the shirts. Thanks for the support. That was amazing. That's awesome. Man, we got some of the best fans. We got some good stuff going on.
you want to bring dad jokes back now, don't you?
No, we don't, though. But it worked out well. All right.
That's the first thing that came to mind when I saw that.
I know. I heard it. I was like, it was so good. And they wore the shirts and they matched.
Yeah.
So I had to give it to them. I mean, how are you going to hate on that? So speaking of that, we're right now. Eric is helping us out. I was just on a phone call with him. I know our store is pretty bare with Dark Side shirts because fucking Disney.
That's just the T. That's just the T.
Catherine Kennedy banning all our shirts. Catherine Kennedy always trying to take it from it. Darth, go ahead. Get on her for it.
No. Kathleen Kennedy's sensitive today.
Oh, so she can steal all my shirts, but okay, all right.
We don't
all
want
right.
to go down that rabbit hole.
And they pay at Disney to go through T Public.
We'll leave her alone. We'll leave her alone tonight.
All right, so we're gonna get new shirts. We're working on new shirts from now. We should have them up in a month. So we do really appreciate everybody who supports us. We try to keep them real cheap for you, so we'll let you know when we put them first up. Because when we put them first up, pretty much the cheapest time to buy them. So good stuff on that. You should be proud, Jedi. Dusty did a great job. Dusty, thank you in the chats. Thank you very much. That was great to see you guys. All right, let's get into comic reviews. I'll try to make this short. I will definitely make one of them short because I kind of said I didn't want to ever do this comic again, and I still don't want to do this comic again. But since IDW still keeps putting it out, I will tell you
it's almost done, right?
I don't know how they made Vader so bad, bro. There's a title called Vader. It's awesome, and he's in 2 books. He's great. Nobody can screw him up, but they seem to be able to do it. I don't know who's writing this, but please stop. Our first story is called.
I screwed it up in the intro.
What's that? That's all right. So this is Star Wars Adventures. This is the villainy and what is it called again? Hero and villainy book. This is the thing they should have never done and probably lost them the property. The first half is called Repair Shop. It's got this character named Mobeen Fetus in it. Yep, that's
Mobeen Fetus.
That's what I'm going with.
Wow.
He's a Targaryen. You know, like what's her name? You know, with the 2 lightsabers. The one that everybody thinks is going to show up in everything. Ahsoka Tano. Yeah, no, like Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano.
But he's like he's a smuggler and a run guy, and he dresses really funny, I guess. And then they literally took this story off of the old Smugglers run that they did in the original Star Wars Adventure series that they were doing that was actually pretty good, and just added in Finn, Rey, and this character, and tried to do it again. So what?
Said Space Hellboy.
Yeah. That gets better. We haven't got to that part yet. So obviously, for no reason, the ship breaks. In the last time it was a joke with Han Solo and Chewbacca. If you read the original Star Wars Adventure run, it was because of the alternator and everything else that went out. And this one, just they had problems, I guess. So they had to land on a planet. And then our man here, Keith, who is a bounty hunter, and we don't even know what species he is because I just don't think he was drawn well. And yes, he does look like Hellboy. All of a sudden pulls a gun on Rey, and Rey's like, "Oh, I know you're after me." And he goes, "No, dude, nobody even knows who you are. We're actually after him. He's a smuggler." And for some reason that they don't explain, the order was to get the First Order wanted him.
If he looks like Hellboy, is he like one of the devil dudes, like Clancy Brown in that Mando episode?
I thought, but no, I don't know. If he is, he's extremely large for that type of species and has a different makeup of ears and whatever, man. I don't know what species he is. He also then has got like these extendable claws that he swings around buildings in. I guess that was the childish portion, and then Finn drives off with the ship. It was bad. Wow. And then, like I said, this is the next
looks
part.
Like he hits the death stick steroid.
He could have been a cool character or whatever, but like I don't know. Like the story sucks.
Are they making a part for Mr. T?
But then they do a to be continued, and it's like, yo, man, like I don't know if I want this to be continued.
No thanks.
Please don't. The next one was terrible. The art was bad. The characters were just knockoff characters that you thought maybe were somebody else, but they weren't, except for Darth Vader, and he's just walking around with Inferno troopers. And you're like, okay, so they're gonna burn something down. He finds a Jedi temple, and apparently, I didn't know this, but Darth Vader is so strong that he can literally pull an entire Jedi temple, including all the structures and all the pieces, out of the ground and form it back normal on top of the land, and then support it while they go inside. Did you know that? The library.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure, fair enough.
I saw a guy pull down a Star Destroyer once.
Anyway, so then he wants his backpack. We don't even know why he's trying to get the backpack. They don't really explain it. Then they burn everything down. The end. She's like, wow. But they didn't burn her down, even though she was unconscious, and they stole everything for her, and she's in the middle of flames. Not that they should have burnt her, but whatever. End of that story.
Book, Marco.
What's that?
All ages. All ages.
Yeah, but
Well,
the
it's
art
all
wasn't that
garbage.
bad.
No, but like that's a bad excuse because they do the High Republic Adventures that's really good, and that's all ages. And they used to do Star Wars Adventures, like that original like big 3-volume run or whatever, and that was good. It was actually all ages, and you could read it to the kids. I used to read that to my kids all the time. I'm not reading them this crap. It's not good. It isn't. Okay, done. Bounty Hunters 19. I saw a lot of people got the variant cover. It was actually kind of a cool boss cover. So inside. Remember, if you guys remember Valance, this is the one thing I'll say about this is I hope that they take the Valance storyline with Darth Vader and they split that portion off of the book and they just keep that in Vader. And then they do the rest of the bounty hunters with the second half of the group. I split up this book again to do it that way instead of skipping back and forth. If we recall, Valance is trying to go after his lieutenant, his old lieutenant that he idolized that made him join the Imperial fight. He actually, an interesting part real quickly here, the lady who's putting on the head, that's Jayla. If you might remember from like the Alphabet Squad books, she was the one, or in the TIE Fighter comic, she was one of the Shadow Squadron, the Shadow TIE Fighter people. So it's kind of cool that they brought those back in, and she's the only identifiable one in this book with the squadron that they have Valance to fly around with. And they use their old TIE fighters, which is pretty cool. They had some other clown in there who ends up saying like, yeah, I'm the best flyer ever, and then gets blown up. I thought that was fun. There's a lot of fun writing in this. There's a lot of like stuff you'd expect out of
Han Solo cameo there.
Oh, there was. Yes, there's a young Han Solo. My bad. I'll go back. Young Han Solo. Very good. That's Han Solo there. Yeah. Those that don't know. That was in the Solo story. They talk about it too. That's where Valance shot up. He decides to run his TIE fighter or TIE lead Vance right into the head of the, and it doesn't blow up the Star Destroyer though somehow. Like I don't understand. You could just run through the bridge and.
Yeah, so can we stop and talk about that for a second?
Star Wars.
The
answer is going to be Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. It's Star Wars because isn't that something similar? What sucked Leia out into space and she had to channel her inner Superman to get back into the... Isn't that
I think they're trolling
similar?
you. I agree. I think that it also was a way they destroyed 2 Superstar Destroyers before. So,
Yes.
they've done this before.
Yeah.
All these exploding TIE fighters apparently make the exact same sound. Ba-boom.
Badam. Oh, it's Badam.
Ba-bomb. Ba-bomb. Ba-bomb.
I'm thinking ba-boom.
Ba-boom. Ba-bomb. Whatever. Thorum. Yeah.
Wow.
All of them make the exact same noise.
I don't know. I thought this was done well, and I thought the writing here was kind of, it was fun. So it's a little catchy.
Well, it can't be Badam because then they'd owe Nintendo some money.
Yeah. So we get a whoosh, and there you go. He gets in. He knocks off the old lieutenant. Comes with the eye. The lieutenant plays like, yeah, so they sent you here to say that I was part of the Crimson Dawn. Do you believe it? And he's like, I don't have a choice. I can't. I have to believe it, or Vader's going to kill my baby. Well, it's not really his baby mama because they don't have a kid. So his side chick, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. The woman that he like smuggled and then hid on a planet. Well, I mean, what do you want to call her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not married. They're not really dating. He kind of was hooking up with her, and then like,
you started talking about he smuggled her and kept her in a warehouse.
And then he smuggled her and kept her on a planet. No, he did. He smuggled her out and kept her on a planet. Like, we haven't seen her since. I don't know what that is. You're gonna buy somebody in an anonymous apartment someplace? What do you call that?
Victim?
RJ? What do you call that? I don't know.
I was thinking retirement plan, but
very good. Very good. So it turns out that he actually wasn't. We get back to, they got this high D character who's now got the one eye too, because everybody needs a cybernetic eye, I guess. And she's like, yeah, Vader, like we actually looked into it. He wasn't part of the Crimson Dawn. And Vader's like, yeah, but he was bad mouthing the Galactic Empire in public. So everybody I don't like, we're just going to go under there, which I thought was an interesting point that they're just literally putting everybody under the same roof. And if they're going to clean house, it might be fun to see him cleaning more house. Once again, I wish that would be moved over to the Vader title, because I think it's really cool what they are doing with that.
Is that middle panel the flashback to him as a kid?
Yeah, because when he was a kid, so when he was a kid, the guy
The
guy that he just shot was the guy that got him to join the service.
Yeah.
Actually, the Han Solo part back here was when he actually first crashed and started getting the cybernetics, and he tells them, he's like, "Yo, Lieutenant, like you're the reason, and I'm gonna be a TIE fighter again." And he's like, "Yo, sorry, I misled you. Yeah, sorry, I misled you. This place sucks. Good luck with that. You're never flying anything." The other half of the storyline happens to deal. I should have expanded this. Happens to deal with the bounty hunters, and on the planet, they're starting to see what happened after, the major of the cartels are gone. It has to do a lot with the Unbroken clan. Remember, we're trying to figure out who we have. The illegitimate heir to the Unbroken clan that Tonga and Losh are trying to somehow sneak back in charge. In the meantime, the Unbroken clan is just going around killing people, and they're fighting the Black Sun, and it's a big war. It looks like Crimson Dawn doesn't actually have control over any of these people because of the chaos that's going on, which I think was one of the misled thing. I think everybody thought that Crimson Dawn was actually going to be in charge of all these. And it's
it looked
really
like they were trying to they're ginning up a turf war more or less, aren't they?
Exactly.
Well, they are now. There's a turf war going. So
I mean, that's what their point. That's the point of what they were doing, though.
I thought they were trying to get a turf war between the ones that wouldn't use them as, for their services.
No, I don't know. I took it as they were tricking everybody else. That's why.
Well, they sure did. Yeah. There's definitely a turf war going on.
I can't remember. Chanta's group and all that were going on their mission.
They're getting closer to Prince Sizor.
Yeah,
looks like it.
Because they're trying to find. Because they're trying. Yeah. Well, no, I got good news for Dom. Hold on. We will fulfill Dom's fantasies in a little bit. That's what we do here. We try to make everybody's fantasies come true. We got our rogues gallery of leftover bounty hunters / random people who look really young, and eventually we see them when they're really old later, and girlfriends / wives that don't look like that but somehow are drawn different. They decide that Forlom and Zuckuss need to be reunited, so they're gonna go and find Spider-Leg. Yeah, they've been doing that for 3 or 4 times. It's a good storyline, and like I said, I just wish they'd leave this bounty hunter portion to itself and move over to the Vader.
Well, listen, the reason why they're doing that is connecting over to the Crimson Reign, the storyline. So it's going to be like that for a couple, and then go on to.
I would agree. I like that, Dom, but I wish they would flush out this portion of it, even when they're doing the Crimson Dawn, so that they're not, because we're going to get Vader, and then we're going to get Vader in this book too. Like, we don't need all that Vader. Like, just don't do that, because that's how they kind of. One of the storylines is going to take a hit eventually, right? Like they were doing that with Star Wars, where everybody that was in Star Wars, you had Vader in Star Wars. You had Vader in this. I mean, and then the Star Wars title just sucks right now. I mean,
the whole fact is because they're doing the connecting storyline. If I know what you mean. I like the individual stories, but
Forlom does love Zuckuss.
The crossovers sometimes take away from the actual character itself.
So I'm still thinking about that guy that got his mentor or whatever that got killed. So when Han and him kind of bumped into him. On that starship, he was going to give a lecture or whatever. He was like a captain or something, and he's like, "Hey, sorry, I dragged you into this. Empire sucks." Blah blah blah. Fast forward, this captain is now like an admiral. So I mean, it's very very Office Space to me, right? I mean, like, yeah, this place sucks. Oh, this guy's management material. Let's promote him
he's management material.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely got a lot of people there. So,
how would you feel to us putting 4 Star Destroyers directly underneath you?
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It was kind of a good, like I said, I think if they would have just done that part of the storyline in like 2 books instead of extended to 4, the storyline was still good, but it would have been exceptional. And the same with this, like, let's get to the point with the Unbroken Clan. All right. Like we're there already. We don't need to keep going back and forth. So
quick question. Do you actually think that the next storyline, Hidden Empire, next year or like the end of the other year is going to be about Thrawn? What do you think? No.
Just because of just because of the novels.
Nah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Should they do now? Ask me another question. Should they come out with another Thrawn storyline in comics? Yes. Because pictures, not lots of words. Very good. Help me read.
It's like Kevin from Office Space.
What do you want bounty hunters to be then?
About the bounty hunters, about this bounty hunters, and any of the other like
just doing jobs,
like a storyline, them doing jobs, them trying to get the Unbroken Clan back together, all the little side gig stuff going on there.
Do you
I don't
want
think
to be like miniseries? I mean, like just for
an arc.
Duckus arc, and then switch to another bounty hunter,
like anthology style.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's when I think it's when it does the best. Like sometimes this gets lost. Like sometimes these storylines really do get lost. Like remember when Aphra that had that bad part where Aphra was part of, like half of her stuff was in the bounty hunter, half of her stuff was in the Vader book, and then she had a regular book, and it was all a mess. I just don't want to see that happen to bounty hunters or Vader, because I think both are very good right now, and I'd like them to just focus on one. So yeah, give us even if it's a 6-book arc on this part, give us the 6-book arc with the crossover. That's fine. Same thing with Vader, but like stop giving us 6 pages of Vader, 6 pages of bounty hunters, and then now half these people are going to show up in the. You don't need a crossover in a crossover event. Like you don't need the regular titles to cross over with each other and then have a event crossover book, in which what they have with Crimson Reign. They have a crossover book, a crossover event book, right? And then they keep crossing over these crossover titles in between each other. Like,
but don't they do that with Marvel? They do that with Marvel.
It doesn't mean I have to like
sell you books. That's why.
But I mean, also for me at least, like Valance, I just can't get behind him. I just don't care about.
Oh, well, that's where we differ.
Where the other guys actually do enjoy.
What's that? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So if you get Valance out of here into the Vader storyline, then you don't have to deal with it anymore, and then you can enjoy a lot of these newish old characters too. I mean, I just think that the stories are too far separated, right? Like, why do we need 2 stories into it? That's what.
Well, I think it's because they're trying to use the Marvel methodology with crossover events where, we got to get you to buy all of the books. But I don't think they realize that most of the people reading Star Wars comics are buying all the Star Wars comics anyway. You know what I mean? There's not many people just buying just Vader and nothing else.
What's up, Gonzo? Happy New Year's. That's a little inside joke because somebody one time told us, like, anything we criticize, they're like, you guys don't like anything Star Wars. It's like, we do. But no, I mean, like, I think
loves Valance.
I do. Yeah. I absolutely love Valance. Yeah. 100%. I just think it'd be a cleaner book. That's what I'm saying. I think we could get more in depth there and it'll give us a cleaner book if we just read the Vader thing. Like the back and forth, I think is kind of annoying, especially when we have crossover. Like why they're crossing over their regular titles and then crossing over a crossover. You have the crossover to crossover. Don't cross over your regular titles.
You see, Bounty Hunters has the potential to be a really, really good book. You have all the like Dernge, Cad Bane, all these guys can show up in these books, and you can recycle like the Suicide Squad.
Hey, Brian.
All right, McClay, tell him to move on with this.
Move on with this.
All right, move on with this. I was moving on. They kept calling me back.
That was
here
my
we go.
fault.
Pulling me back. No, it's all right. So next week we got Dr. Aphra still going on. The new character, we will get the one nephew back. I promise you that. But it was not this character. The only reason I'm not spoiling this, this is a preview. I'm not pulling anything off of books already delivered. This is public information here. So
it's on StarWars.com.
StarWars.com, right. So we're not doing what we criticize people for doing. So, but we do get a new character in there who has something to do with Aphra, which this is what I'm talking about when you asked, JR. I like that this is going to be an isolated story in the grand scheme of things. And I think that the other Star Wars books should do that too. So it's pretty cool. Make sure you're picking those up. Also, FOC, we got Crimson Reign 2. There's a bunch of okay covers. The next round, I kind of liked it. They got another Raza. Those Razas, I think, are dope. I think Brian likes the Razas too, if I recall correctly. Then for our man Dom, look what we got for you. Make sure you order this variant. I think it's a regular order. I don't even think it's a ratio. So we got Prince Zizor showing up. Dom was not wrong. There he is, right on the cover.
Why does it look like Dengar is dressing up like Death Sticks in the middle?
It's not. I think that's still what's his name? Not Zizor, but we should probably get what?
Geety.
Yeah, Geety.
Geety.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. I was about to
say. Yeah, doesn't Shizor like have like a different head?
Yeah, it's not him.
Yeah, it's not him. I was just giving him a hard time. But I still think we'll get him eventually. I think Dom's right.
But let me ask you something real quick, though, you guys. And this is a question I never got to ask any of you. So I watched one of my favorite episodes you guys did was a couple of weeks ago when you guys were basically just talking about who you're going to see, who you guys think you're going to see in Boba Fett and that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And you guys got really into deep into the Shizor stuff. And I don't think that Shizor is that big of a deal in the comics now to collect on his appearances, right? Like everybody's geeking out over his appearances. It may be showing up in Crimson Reign. That's cool storyline, but I don't think it's a cool thing spec wise, right?
I think there's a very hard line that people don't understand about Star Wars fans. Is a lot of us have this already, and there's things that pique our interest and we want back for either the nostalgia factor or for a fun way, because that reincorporates the legend stuff, right? But that doesn't mean that's going to be like common core stuff like that. The regular, somebody said the other day, if it does, or just earlier in the chat, if it doesn't show up on the screen, it doesn't count. And there's a large percentage of people that feel that way about Star Wars. So
that's very true.
I mean, this just coming into the comics is cool. It's for us, but I
love the Raza covers. I'm so glad that they're connecting to.
I do too.
Okay.
There's two. They're connecting a decent amount. Sorry, we'll let you get back to it one side. This one too is the inside one is a connecting. Actually, I think 3 of these covers are connecting. Which, God bless you if you're buying all these covers. But go ahead, Dom.
Now look at back the nostalgia thing. Back for Shadows of the Empire, it was such a great story that filled the gaps in growing up and seeing it and seeing those characters. Prince Caesar, how cool he was going against Vader. That's badass. You go against Vader, you're a badass character. And how he was manipulating the whole Rebel Alliance and that's the great thing about Star Wars. Those characters that they bring into the new mythology of Star Wars now makes it people like us love it even more, because they're introducing brand new characters plus bringing in old characters from the past.
Do you like the brand new characters that are in Crimson Reign? I mean, they're not brand new to Crimson Reign, but they're being spotlighted in Crimson Reign.
Yeah, some of them they haven't flushed out enough. Yeah. But I will say this, and this brings up a good point because somebody in the chat did it, and it was Dusty because somebody asked me, as a joke, but JR said he didn't like Valance. And look, there's 2 characters that I liked and they brought back, and I thought they have now done at least equal enough job or justice to, if not better, and that's Thrawn and Valance. Yeah. I like what they've done. Like, they didn't scar those characters. It's either, I would say that they did a better job with Thrawn, but some people will debate that, and that's fine.
Yeah, they made Thrawn. Not to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah,
you're 100% right. Thrawn, the way that they took Thrawn in the past couple of years has been so key to me and where that character is going. I don't think Thrawn was that cool of a character. I'm going to rephrase this. I think Thrawn is a cooler character now with his kind of hero turn, right? Or the hero's journey than he was in Heir to the Empire novel. Yeah.
It gives him more of a purpose and makes him more interesting. Not as kind of, he was a great character before, but he was kind of boring and one-dimensional almost in a way.
But that's it. Like, I don't think, like, when people, like our friend Zaggy says, like, oh, if they do they're not going to do Shadow of the Empire. Like, but I'm not sure I don't think that's even what, Dom would love it, but like, I think if they do the justice that they've done to Thrawn or to, I think he just wants to see the character and it flushed out, right, Dom? Like, you just want a story from him.
I love the characters. Me being a Star Wars fan. Yeah, I always talk about Boba Fett because that is my favorite character. But with certain characters, there's a lot of characters that are fantastic. Look, people always break on Valance because, he's Cable. He's a ripoff. Dude, he was before Cable, before Terminator. And nobody understands that. Right away they think, why does Star Wars have to always take characters or ideas from other genres? No, he's a
people
good
say
character.
That shit.
Yeah, they
people
do.
Say that shit.
People do.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, whatever.
Yeah. No, but it's just the fantastic thing is that there's that big pool of whatever character you could take out in Legends now, and just pluck them and make them badass.
You hit it on the head with the Legends too, right? Like a lot of, and maybe I don't know, I might be wrong, but I feel like the majority of real hardcore Star Wars fans love Legends, and when they took that out of the story, they took it out and said, we're not those are done, those aren't part of Star Wars anymore. We were like, what the hell, you know what I mean? Those were the things that we loved. I know a ton of people that grew up, they loved the movies, but when they fell into the novels and all they became super fans, right? Super.
That's all there was for a good chunk of time.
Yeah, but there's also some really bad novels out there.
I agree.
Yes,
really bad.
I mean, there's some great stuff, and like let me go back to Valance real quick. I personally am not a huge fan. I respect that they brought him back, but like with Thrawn, I love Thrawn. I'm glad they brought him back. I wish they'd bring Talon Card and Mara Jade, even they've made her bad. Just don't go the good option with her. Just have her stay as a hand. I think it'd be great to do, but there's a lot of characters though that was in that stuff that was garbage. I mean, that whole Yusu Vong storyline that felt like it took 20 years and was like 25 novels. To me, it had some great parts in it, but it needed to be dropped. It needed to be condensed.
Yeah. There were so many storylines that it's not much different than a Marvel or a DC doing like a Crisis of Infinite Earths or something where they try to clean it up. And they took the real broad stroke approach, obviously, and we could probably talk more about it if we ever do like a full-on Legends segment or something. And this is going to be a controversial take, but the people who are no fans of Legends themselves are guys like Lucas and Filoni. Lucas did not care that much for a lot of Legends stuff.
It wasn't his.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Lopez. Go.
Copyrighted.
Hold on, Dominic. Go ahead, Lopez.
Yeah. Hello. This is why I would rather them just go forward or, go past episode 9. Give us something new. Push it forward. I mean, these characters that you guys are talking about, they're great. They're great characters. I pretty much didn't read any of them. I've learned about them late, but this is what I mean. They're not shrinking the universe. All those stories are great, but I just feel like they should just push it forward. Give us something else to read. Like, all you guys read the old books, the EU, whatever. You're reading all this now. It would be good to have something fresh for other readers, for new Star Wars fans to jump on at that point. I mean, at this point, I'd rather just read Rey. I'd rather see where Rey's at. You know what I mean? I'd rather put I mean, I love Star Wars regardless. I watch it good or bad, but it seems like I think they're just missing an opportunity to push it forward. I think they put all their eggs in one basket with the High Republic, and I don't think that's really going too good for me.
So this is the thing, and this is what I'll explain about if. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say. I mean, I'm kind of on board with Darth a little bit. I have never, to this day, read a Dark Horse comic to this day, and I appreciate it when they bring. Really. I appreciate it when they bring those characters out of Legends and make them canon. I think that's cool. I appreciate hearing about them, listening to people talk about them. But no, I've never read one. In fact, the episode that Brian is talking about, whenever we were talking about Prince, Zai, whatever, I told you guys I bought a box of just open toys, Star Wars toys, and they had one of his little action figures in there. I was like, who the hell is this? I don't even know who this is.
Yeah.
Was he in the cantina?
All right, so here's the thing.
For all I knew.
Real quickly, Sam. Yes, I actually am. I'm a huge. I actually am probably projecting too much and hoping that this is where Thrawn goes, is that we get the Vong back. But what I'll say is this: the legacy stuff is Brian's right, but I think with Legacy, it was people what they caught it because there was what was junk to me might not have been junk to you. Like there was so much random stuff being thrown out. I think people could find a niche they could get into the Legacy stuff. Now, I think they're still doing that with this, but they're cleaning it up a little bit. And I hope they do that because
you can bring it back if we
I'll bring it back a little bit. I hope they do that. And it seems like they're doing it a little bit cleaner. Like when you see what they did with Thrawn, it looks like they actually have intention. Where back in the day with Legacy, it pretty much seemed like somebody's like, here's a pen and a pad, or here's a comic book that we need to put out, and feel free to do a story. And between Timothy, what Timothy said before, he was doing stories to shit on other writers because he was told he couldn't do stuff. I mean, that's not the way to do it. So is all of Star Wars that's coming out right now going to be for everybody? No, but I think we're a little nostalgic too about, I don't think everything from because if I have to hear about Aaron's again, that fucking shitty DC book Aaron's that JJ loves so much and Steve Horn loves so much, like, yo, man, no. Aaron's Legacy or whatever the heck it is, the one where the girl's on the front cover. What? Yeah, Aaron. Yeah,
Aaron?
DC. What does DC have to do with it?
Not DC. Dark Horse. Aaron's Legends. That day, whatever. It gets my blood pressure up just thinking about how bad that book and that storyline is. You want to talk about all over the place? That thing sucks, man. But for you guys, you like it. So, I mean, I just don't want to see him bring that back. You know what I mean? I want them to.
I think that a lot of that stuff, like for me, it's nostalgia pull. It really is. I mean, that was a comic book I read when I was a kid. When I was in Legend, I said it before. Like I was that age where I was after the original trilogy and kind of in between, and I was a '90s gamer kid, so I played the Star Wars video games, and that was my introduction to it. And like when you were my age, that's all you had was novels and comics of the Legend stuff mostly. I mean, until the prequel trilogy came out, that was about it.
But there's one I always talk to Darth Lopez about too, like Planet of the Sith. I love that storyline and book. I know that won't work right now, but that was the expansion of the universe too. And I know people think that storyline and that book sucks, and that's okay. Like JR doesn't like Valance. That's fine. At least I get some. I mean, Lopez.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay though. It's okay.
There's enough Star Wars out there that you can hate parts of it and like parts of it.
Yeah, you can like whatever you want. That's why I think it's the best. If they keep expanding the universe, but keep it like a little bit more organized. The problem with Legends is like it got too disorganized at a point, and somebody looked back and was like, "What the shit is this?" And they're right. I mean, JR said it. I've said it. JJ. I think everybody has one part of Legends where you're like, "Whoa, that shit was bad. Like bad."
Oh, there is.
All
right.
Go ahead.
There was bad stuff, but at the end, Star Wars Legacy with 100 years in the future with Kincaid Skywalker when they were going to the Dark Crate, that was really good. They could do something like that in the future and take some of those characters and make that, which would be.
Yeah, but remember that one novel that was written in there that was really bad, where the Sith were in charge of the Senate at one point, but there was two Sith organizations that were fighting each other, and that wasn't good. Like, and that was in that. So like.
I don't think there was a Sith novel. I don't think there was a Sith novel that took place during.
It wasn't a Sith novel. It was a novel. It was a novel about Kincaid, I think, and it had. I can't remember which one it was.
I don't think there was.
You sure?
Kincaid.
I'm pretty sure it was
on Cade Skywalker. There was
Kincaid. Whatever.
Yeah, you got to decipher.
Cypher Kincaid. Okay. Either way, I think there was one story.
You're saying, Marco.
There was one story where they had it in there where they're like the Sith were in the Senate, and then the Sith. They were actual members of like the Senate, but if people knew they were Sith. I shit you not. This is a story.
Well, that's a good story. Sounds good. That probably will work now if you did that.
And then because Luke Skywalker was there. So then Luke Skywalker at one time like bombards in a Senate floor somehow, and his grandson. Oh man, it's messed up. I'm gonna go back and look what book that was so we can tell bad stories. But that was a bad story too. Either way, can I finish up the comic book?
Yeah, just finish that up.
Sure.
Yeah, that was 20 minutes on an FOC cover. So
one more. Yeah, here we go. We also got High Republic 14. You got 2 A and B cover, and then you've got the 125, which is going to have Laura D on it.
Those Celestials.
Remember they pushed this. This is number 1. They pushed it back instead of showing Burr all the time. It is now time for the FOC for this. So I showed 80 of these variant covers that they're going to have. So there you go. Okay, good stuff. The end.
With the glowing head.
No, we're not. FOC just took. There was 3 books at FOC. This just took 30 minutes, dude. So we're not going back.
I didn't take 30 minutes.
Brian, I had fun last night. Thank you. It was enjoyable. Thanks to the MCM crew and the Flipside crew over there. That was a good time. And thanks for stopping by. We didn't know if you guys were making. We heard you went 8.5 hours. Congratulations.
8.5 hours.
8.5 hours.
8.5 hours, dude. And then we stayed and talked for like 2 hours after the show too.
Lord.
It was crazy, man. It was fun though. It was nice to reminisce about the year, and I mean, I think that's always the fun part about this time of year, and these type of things is to talk about the year before and all your favorites and all the cool things that happened. So
cool. Hey, Pete, do we have a video from Astro?
We do have a video from.
Let's see what he has to say.
All right, let's see if I can get that one.
Oh yeah, it's up right
I got
this
like
time.
90 million screens here.
I see it. Nope, don't change it. Oh,
where'd it go?
You had it right.
I know I had it right, and then it went away.
All right, so we're gonna do the Astro video. After that, we'll have Dom coming up with his. Or do you want me to do the toy
I don't know
thing?
what happened. Just give me 1 second to bring it back.
Okay, we're gonna give you 1 second.
One.
I like High Republic, but wish they'd expand. I think they are going to do that, Joe.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's part of the plan.
That's part of the plan. So I hope they do.
Not a good plan.
It's not for everybody. I get you. Yeah,
Here
hey,
it
but
comes, with
Acolytes, Darth Lopez, Acolytes is.
There it is. Nope. Volume.
These are my 2021 top picks. Let's start off with the first comic book appearance.
We might have to try to rewind that, turn the volume up there, bud.
I'd love to see more of those characters. Best comic book cover.
Hey, Pete, can you pause and try to turn it up?
That's as loud as it goes.
Right.
Are you playing it through your speakers?
No, it's just playing on a separate screen.
Gotcha.
In my opinion, I think the 3-pack Force Ghost. That's a good one. Look it up. Pretty cool. Best Hasbro Cult figure. I have to go with Ahsoka Tano, the reissue from the EU figure, because I don't have that one yet.
The reissue of Ahsoka Tano. That's cool.
I've seen it sell for. If I could get it for $13.99, I'm a happy camper. And the best Star Wars moment this year, I think, was the introduction to the High Republic. It's given us more Jedi, fresh content. So far, I know a lot of people don't really care for it. It's hard to pick up. Some of the side series are great. We're just getting started.
I agree.
That's the dark side moment. Now, as far as you guys as a crew, I came in and started watching on a regular basis during segments with the Droid Royal Rumble. And I loved it.
He did not.
It's an interesting first experience.
Oh, get out of here. Maybe we could try at the end to play that one sideways so we can hear it a little better. But thank you, Asher. That was great. You had a lot of good stuff in there. The Droid Royal Rumble, huh? How about them apples?
That's crazy.
Was that March? Because we did it for March Madness.
That was when a lot of us first showed up though on the show.
Yeah, because I needed a bunch of people. I was like, who could talk? Who could? Jedi Johnson hated that. He's like, how can I sell anybody? And then he got C-3PO and got so excited about it. So I guess it worked out. We snuck them all in there.
I don't know if it was me. Didn't that mask look like Teen Wolf?
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Astro. Thank you for that. That was great, man. We appreciate it.
It's okay if mine's not movie quality.
I'm supposed to be getting filming in May. That's cool. Yep. All right. Well, maybe we'll go back to the other video where he's sideways so we can hear it better at the end. But I thought that was good. Good job, and thank you for adding all that stuff.
I don't know. I heard it fine, obviously.
I had to turn my volume all the way up to hear it. All right. Next up, we've got Dom's going to give us a little piece of what's going on in Pop's Toys and other stuff. Dom, you ready?
Yeah. Just before I do this one, there was a solicitation for a helmet that was coming out. A phase 1 clone trooper helmet that was in a system, so it should be coming out soon. I don't know when, sometime this year, but it should be awesome. All right, now let me get this.
2024,
probably the way things are going. All right, so Sideshow and Kaz Baby came out with this cute little Fennec Shan and Boba Fett on the throne, which I already have pre-ordered, but it looks pretty cool and pretty cute at the same time.
His rocket, it's an ad. What are these things? So they're not pops. They're what are
they're their versions of like pops because their heads bobble. So,
all right, fair enough.
That's pretty good. All right, now we're gonna get to some pops now. So apparently, they have 2 pops coming to, I guess, the Old Republic. Coming out with a Dark Nihilus. Pop coming soon. This probably will be a GameStop exclusive, which all the game pops are. And then next one is a favorite of mine.
Oh, sorry, man. Pouring myself a drink. My bad. There's no breaks.
Star Killer. So.
Oh yeah. Sweet.
What I think they might do is have a box. They came out with a box with Jedi Revan earlier last year, and they had a box with 2 pops in it, and they might do the same thing with this. Hopefully. Pretty soon, but I probably towards like the middle of the year, maybe. There's no date, no nothing, but they're coming.
So we'll get it in 3 years from now. Okay.
Probably. Yeah, exactly. 2026 with Eclipse.
Look, the way things are going, lucky if I get it for my 60th birthday. This now Hot Wheels is coming out with. They come out with cars. They have a whole Star Wars collection. The newest Boba Fett Hot Wheel that actually was up for pre-order.
How many did you order, Dom?
What?
How many did you order? 6, 7?
Nah, one.
Did Lucas design that one for American Graffiti?
Yeah, it actually looks like American Graffiti. It actually looks pretty cool.
I have Bob Falfa's car.
I have a few other ones, the original ones that came out, but that's pretty cool. Also, Hot Wheels is coming out with another type of a vehicle. They're coming out with the vehicles, and they're supposed to be 6-inch vehicles. I don't know when they're coming out with those either. I didn't put that here because it's just a rumor as we speak right now, but most likely it'll probably be true down the road.
6-inch?
A 6-inch car, like the other vehicles, the spaceships they're coming out with. Die-cast metal. So now, last but not least, the final product of the Razor Crest. It should be coming out sometime this month. I should get mine, hopefully, by the end of the month.
My God, when was this? When did this finish? Wow.
It
was almost a year ago?
Yeah.
Holy crap. For those that don't know,
this is the final product.
This is the final one that they've shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll still make more.
The latest one.
Oh. But apparently...
No, this was the Pulse thing. This was the Rancor.
Yeah.
Before the Rancor.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they'll still make more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the metallic paint on this is different to what they were showing. It's more of a dull paint finish than the metallic type of paint finish they had before.
So more like a matte finish than like a glossy, shiny.
Yeah, people are a little upset with that because they wanted that. But you can't make everybody happy, I'm telling you.
Dom, I hear you, but HasLab's got to make somebody happy because they ain't making anybody happy right now.
Well, the Razor Crest wasn't all shiny. Like, it makes sense for it to be more rough and tumble.
Yeah, but you know what? Look,
but when you tell somebody, hold on. But when you tell somebody that if they back you for this thing, we're going to add this on, and then you do a bait and switch at the end, Pete. I mean,
paying $400 for this thing, you want it to win.
Well, the Raker is a deal. It was only $350. Hey, Lopez, I think we got somebody saying what's up from West ILA.
You know, look, I look at this.
Hello. Oh yeah, that's my buddy. That's right.
What's going on?
This is pretty. This is going to be pretty cool. You know, they have it on the counter or on a shelf.
It is. It's going to be impressive, but I don't know. We'll get into it maybe later, but HasLab's got a little bit more to do than that. All right. Well, Dom, thank you again. I know there's a little short notes for that. Hey, Pete, we've got a little bit longer of a video this time. I think we got a little bit of Morello tunes going on.
Oh, you want Morello? Yeah.
And then we're gonna do best of after that for us for the crew.
Okay. All right. So here is Mike Morello's submission.
Happy 2022, Dark Side crew, both on and off the air. This is Mike Morello from CBSI and the original Dark Side crew to talk a little bit about 2021. It's been an interesting 2021 for Star Wars. Obviously, we just got Book of Boba Fett, which is super exciting, and it'll be a great one for the podcast as well going into 2022. I'm here with my cat Wampa, who I hope is acceptable since he has a Star Wars name, to talk a little bit about my favorite stuff from 2021. And my first one's kind of a weird one since I don't really collect pops, but I'm going to go with my favorite Funko Pop of the year, which was the Gar Saxon Pop, which I thought was a beautiful, beautiful design. I think it technically had a solicitation date of December 2020, but I know I didn't see it in my shops until either late January or February, maybe even March of 2021. A great design, and amidst a bunch of child pops and Mando pops, it was really nice to see something really different hit the shelves. Really bright, great colors, really well done, very different. And I don't know if it goes for anything. I don't really care. I think it's just a beautiful pop, and I'm not even a collector of those things. As far as Pulse figures go, you guys know me. I'm a 3 3/4 inch guy, and my favorite 3 3/4 inch figure of the year shouldn't come as a shock to those that know me, but it is the Ahsoka Mandalore figure. Not only do I think this is a great figure, but I was really happy to finally get another Ahsoka on a vintage card back, which is, you know, for those that know and those that collect these things, we really only have that one from way back when the sort of original, I don't know, faux live action looking Ahsoka hit a vintage card back, and that thing's worth a fortune. It's like a $300-400 figure. It may even be more now. I'm not sure. So it's nice to get her on a vintage card back. And I know we have another one coming in 2022, which is really cool. A Rosario Dawson version of the figure as well. So that's really, really cool. And then for my favorite comic book cover, I had to go with two. It was really impossible to choose between these two. They were back-to-back issues in January and in February, number 6 and number 7 of Dr. Aphra. These are the 1 in 25 variants. This is the Jen Bartel, and this is the Jenny Frisson. Just both beautiful, beautiful renditions of the character. This one obviously very much in Jenny's style, and this one obviously in the very bright colored style of Jen Bartel. They're both really, really pretty. They still go for a decent amount of money. Again, that's not really what I care about. It's just how beautiful the covers are. And I think these are huge standouts from the year. Much better than basically everything else that came out. So those are those. I didn't really think there was a great first appearance this year. At least not anything I was super excited about. So I kind of skipped that one. But as far as covers go, those were definitely the covers for comics for me. Anyway, that's my 2021 for Star Wars. I'm looking forward to a great 2022 with a great Book of Boba Fett series and some other Star Wars later in the year, and some great figures in the pipeline, and hopefully some great comics and books. So thanks everybody on the Dark Side crew. I appreciate you letting me be a part of this, and I hope for a great 2022, and I hope to be able to come back to the crew at some point in the year. Until then, have a great one, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye.
No, that was good, man. That was really good.
He's always welcome. I tried to get him on tonight, but he couldn't.
Yeah. So we're going to go into ours for some of us that did ours. Who would like to go first with their selections for the 2021?
Well,
do we have a thing for
Mike
that?
Stole some of ours.
It's okay, dude. JJ stole all of mine, so this is going to be fun.
How could he stole all of yours, considering JJ said Mike stole one of his and he stole one of mine?
Yeah, the only one that he didn't
yours.
steal was the one that Mike stole his, so I'm happy about that. You know, it all works out in the end. Good thing you included two. I know I broke the rules on it too. All right, let's get our little preview.
We'll
All right, I like that so much, Pete. You did a great job on it. I need to use it more than once because you can only use it during this show. So.
That's true.
Do we have JJ's? Do we have JJ's lineup pulled up?
I do have JJ's. Only one I don't have Dom's. So
okay, fair enough.
I can do it automatically because I already have stuff next to me. So
all right,
go.
Cool. He's using show.
Roll with yours first. I'll get.
Well, Dom, then we'll roll with yours. Yeah, hold. Let me put you on. I didn't know you were just going to go off the cuff. There we go.
Go off the cuff.
All right, so I'm not going to go with the first appearance of a character. I'm definitely not going to go with the second choice. But the Funko Pop that I'm going to go with is
obviously
this one, the Return of Boba Fett, New York City Comic Con sticker version, Nomad.
Nice.
You know, not only this one, I got these two as well because, and the reason why. These are the first Boba Fett.
You like Boba Fett?
What?
Because you like Boba Fett?
Nah,
Shocker.
I'm shocked. No, I picked those because those are the first brand new Boba Fetts after Jedi. You know, so it's something new.
I knew I should have gone before.
Something new, something old. And
yeah,
I'm very happy about that. Now, as it comic covers, I have to go with this cover. The shadow version, tour version of let me get out of the bag. Hold on. It looks better out of the bag.
Not the one I gave you for Christmas. That's not your favorite.
Yeah, I have it right here. Look,
right back there.
It's up on the wall. So there you go. Right, that better?
Nice. Yeah, we see it. Yeah. Little slave one on the side there.
That is a nice one.
Where Boba Fett's starship.
Yeah,
back
Boba
tilted
Fett's
back
starship.
towards your head. Tilted back towards your head.
I just like this because it's just the color scheme and just the way it looks. The virgin cover. This is a nice wall piece. Eventually, when I get my wall fixed up, this is going up there. But
did he sign it in purple?
Ridiculous right now.
Yeah, he signed it in red.
Oh, red. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty cool. And then Now, I had a toss up because this actually came the other day. This Boba Fett cover, with Vader in his visor and the lightsaber shot. This is really a badass cover. So,
that Kirkham?
basically, these two covers are my favorite covers of the year. Now, my favorite moment of the Dark Side crew, you know where I'm going with this. The first time I was on the show and got to meet you guys.
The Dom's Pop section.
Yeah. No, I got to meet you guys, and prior to that, through 2020, when all shit was going on, I got to watch you guys, and it was a great time watching. It was an amazing time being asked to be on the show. And now that I'm part of the show, that's even more amazing, and I do appreciate that.
Well, we're happy to have you.
You guys accepted me, and it's awesome. And
I think Jedi, was that you?
Yeah, it was Jedi.
It's Jedi. Jedi said, "Do you see this guy in IG?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Get him on here." I said, "Okay, we'll get him on here."
Yeah, I just didn't want to do pops anymore.
That was it too. I was trying not to throw you under the bus.
There you go. Hey,
I told him he had to find somebody new. He said, "You got to get Dom on because Dom knows everything about pops." I was like, "All right, cool."
This segment. This ain't for me.
Right. But that's that. And last but not least, the best Star Wars moment of 2021. I bet you guys know what it is. If you don't, I'm going to throw it out
Republic
there.
book or
The Return of Boba Fett.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, that made me cry. It made me childhood.
Oh,
memories
I'm not
that
the only
finally
one that
came
cries.
back. Hey, look.
It wasn't Luke?
No, Luke maybe put a tear in my eye. Oh, it put a tear in my eye, but
Luke,
the Return of
thank
Boba Fett put a tear in my eye, excitement.
That's
I
right.
felt like a kid in a candy store again. And
It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have feelings.
It is okay to have feelings. Oh,
Well,
geez.
let
Can I
Marco
go
say
next? Because my list is short.
I'm not
I was like
afraid to
last
show
minute.
my feelings.
Hold on. All right, Lopez, you next? Do you want to
Yeah,
go,
well,
Lopez?
because I was last minute, so I
Yeah,
don't-
for sure.
Right, so I don't have much, man. I'm gonna be honest, but I think if I gotta go best of, I gotta go Eclipse because that's what I mean. It was something completely different.
Oh, that trailer.
That we,
was
yeah,
really
the
cool.
trailer. It was something completely different.
Oh,
you know that we had seen in Star Wars under, you know, Disney. Completely new characters. It got the juices pumping. You know, whatever those characters are now, we might not even see it. But you know, so regardless, it's, you know, I said it felt more Star Wars than you know the movies. The worst. Let me see. That was the best of. I think that's about it because I don't read the books anymore. I haven't read those in a while. And what I'm looking forward to, I guess, is Obi-Wan at this point. I was going to go with the Acolyte, but we don't even have a release date for that, and I don't know. We don't know much about that, but I'd say I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
so I want to
cool.
see Hayden Christensen get his due, and I'm
Amen.
At least Kennedy went. At least they're going, you know, giving us the prequels in that way. I think they're going to make up for all the mistakes they did in the prequels and really deliver. You know, so I mean, I know I give Kathleen Kennedy a lot of shit, but I think that's a good call on her doing the Obi-Wan with the director, bringing Hayden back. You know what I mean? Even, you know, it's getting everybody juiced up. I think once we see that trailer, I think it's, you know, I think it'll blow up because I think Star Wars needs to be on the level of Endgame, Infinity War. That's what Star Wars needs to be, and we haven't been under this current new regime. But I think that Obi-Wan, I think that could, you know what I mean? I think that even Disney themselves will believe going down that route or whatnot. So that's pretty much what I got.
That's a good point. I'm glad they never gave up on the Obi thing. Like that was one that I was
yeah.
hoping they never did. So I'm glad that they didn't. All right, do we got JJ stuff ready?
We do, but do we want to see if JR or McClay, if you want to do anything, or do you want to wait and marinate on something?
I'll marinate. I'll wait until you guys go for it.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I got a couple, but I'm looking for one more thing.
Yeah, you don't have to. I just
Okay, we'll go. Hey, this is what we'll do. I know mine and JJ's are gonna be very similar, so we'll split it up between. It'll go JJ, then it'll go Jedi because Jedi said his was similar to Dom's. Then it'll go me, and then
just the one thing.
What am I going?
Whatever. Who knows if you put anything down there? By the way, I
listed
didn't.
everybody.
I just said I didn't cry during Luke Skywalker. I didn't say I hated that. You all took that out
Yes,
of
you did.
Joe.
No, you downplayed it. You downplayed
No,
it.
I said no. I did say I can't believe a bunch of grown ass men are going to act like they're crying because a fiction character came back.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
Because that's Luke. That's Luke.
Why
That's
gotta bring up
bullshit. It's Luke. It's who we want
And once
to
again,
see,
I'll
who we grew
say
up
he
with.
came out as a Jedi during a movie called Return of the Jedi. It was pretty badass, and but y'all forgot about that movie.
And then
So-
do we want to talk about the sequels? We don't.
But that doesn't mean you guys can't cry. Look, if you guys want to cry, you can cry whenever you want. Go ahead. It's a free world.
Put a pin in
You're
that.
still,
All right.
you're still mad. He's mad at JJ for killing Han Solo.
Yeah. I am mad about that. All right, go ahead. Put JJ's stuff on there.
Oh,
JJ Abrams.
All right. Yeah, not me. I need my not Abrams tag again. But yeah.
I did not say that, Gonzo. Go ahead. Sorry, JJ. Sorry.
Favorite. This was tough to pick a first appearance out. It was a comic first. I went with Lorna D. I went with the full appearance of number 10. So I think she's been a great character so far. Really fleshed out more in the novels than in the comics, but still, her showing up in the comics was a nice treat. But so
nice.
But I think it's going to be a good character going forward too. So
agree. Can't argue with that too much.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, hey, look at that. That looks familiar.
Oh,
in January, it was
right there.
Yep, that 1 in 25 Barcel.
Oh yeah,
very hard to get. But I don't know. I have a backup pick in that Star Wars Adventures 10. I loved this cover with the shattered mask.
Yeah.
From Court, and I love that Court storyline too.
That was
High
a good
Republic
storyline.
Adventures.
That really was. I like
so
that.
I love that little interlude.
Had Marble Rub.
Yep. Yeah, I got us all. I think on that one. Actually, I couldn't even get that one. That after
had
because
3 of them.
I
Had 3
ordered
of them.
it
They all
even
had
though.
Marble Rub.
Yeah. But all right. So best Star Wars moment. Again, it was hard to choose. I went with High Republic just because I was very excited that they were doing something different that we hadn't seen before. That was, out of the current timeline of what we had. More so the novels than anything else, I think, is what excited me or jazzed me reading those. They were probably much better than the comics and the other stuff we've seen so far. But especially those first 2, Light of the Jedi and Into the Dark, the young adult novel, were really good, I thought, and introduced a lot of good characters and did it well. And then my favorite moment from the show was this moment way back in the day, the old "It's a Trap" segment.
I
need that back.
That's back.
Yep.
No, but I think that was our thing to make fun of it, right? Is that what
a little bit, a little tongue in
No,
cheek.
it's a trap, and
But yeah,
never tell me the odds. That was a great.
this was I think the first one.
Yeah.
This was the first one, and this was even before we added the odds or trap thing. I think we just did it as is it a trap.
Come on,
but
Is it a trap?
Yeah, and it was.
I just remember the logo on the
It
left.
was the most-
me
the first
explaining
one-
to the person who was making those logos what I wanted. And they go, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "No, you have to do this. It's going to be a great segment."
The first one is the most outlandish one, which is Omega, the love child of interest. So I think
It
the
was
most
so
outlandish
good. It was hilarious. I need to go back and watch that. All right. Oh, that was it? Okay, cool.
That was it. Yeah, that's it.
I didn't do Hasbro or Pops. I
no,
don't
that's
really
fine.
collect them that much.
Yeah, that's
so.
not me yet.
I got a couple. I'm gonna hit up on. First appearance, but also it's one of my favorite covers of the year, and I'm gonna share my screen for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this cover, and I also love this character. And JJ kind of hit up on it. I love the Court character. I love him as his first appearance at High Republic Adventures #1. I think the High Republic Adventures has been tied for my favorite Star Wars book of the year. It's just a great series. I was so surprised that was going to be so much better than the regular High Republic. It just blew me away. And then JJ talked about that issue with the broken mask. That storyline was so freaking cool. How they explained what his Jedi teacher was telling him. You'll know when it's time. Just that whole thing. It's just a really great, well told story. So yeah, Court. I love this character. I think it's gonna be interesting to see where he's going. And so I love that series. But my second favorite series of the year, or tied with that, was the Vader's Castle stuff. I love the Vader's Castle stuff. I love this cover too. I loved how they went like this weird, goofy thing with Anakin, right?
Well, the Damien kind of thing.
Yeah. I also agree with everybody else that that the Bartel, anything Bartel did this year. But this Boba Fett cover was so badass, man. It's really good cover on this one too. For figures, there was a couple of figures I thought that were decent that came out this year, and I love I guess that were announced this year. I guess I don't know if they're going to come out, but I always love Royal Guards. They're my second favorite Star Wars character of all time, and I collect the shit out of them, and it's cool to see a new Royal Guard. I love this Night Brother character, Warrior 2, but I love the card back on this. Everything about this figure is cool to me. The Shadow Stormtrooper. So that was a real big deal for me. Is that seeing how cool the card back is on this, and the Force. What was it? Force Unleashed or whatever.
Force Unleashed line.
Yeah. So really cool stuff. Love those. There was something else, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah, that's basically it.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, the Court's getting a lot of love. He was a great character, and I think I think you're right on with that. They definitely did a great job with it, and I know everybody loved that 1 in 25 also.
Yeah.
All right, Jedi, we ready?
I guess, yeah. Let's do it.
No.
Okay, so we're not ready.
We will be in 2 seconds, but yes.
2 seconds.
Can I throw in one more thing real quick?
Yeah,
I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most too is I forget who somebody said it. Maybe it was Lopez said Obi-Wan and Anakin coming back.
Oh yes.
Darth Vader is my favorite character in Star Wars, hands down. One of the greatest characters ever created, greatest villain ever created. Next to Satan, in my opinion. And seeing Anakin come back, I was so stoked when Revenge of the Sith was coming out, and we didn't know much about it. And then, if you remember, the novel came out like right as the same time the movie was coming out, and everybody's like, "Oh, don't read it, you're gonna spoil it." The novel, I spoil it for myself, but the novel was so damn good, and there was moments in that novel where you're in Anakin's head, right? And it was so dark, and you were so hoping that you were gonna see that part of Anakin, that really dark Anakin. But hopefully we'll get that a cool, well written. He's hopefully a better actor now. I think he wasn't that bad in Sith.
He wasn't that bad.
No, he wasn't. I think he was really bad.
He was in the movie Jumper. He was in the movie Jumper.
That's all his fault.
Jumper was great. You're right.
Yeah,
Jumper was great.
and he was in another little heist movie that he did. He did all right.
Well, even that movie was Shattered Glass, where he played the guy making up all the stories when he was writing for that.
And hands down, the best moment of Star Wars this year, no doubt about it for me, is Luke showing back up, because we all fucking wanted badass dark Jedi Luke. I've always wanted Luke where he's getting close to the dark side. He's searching out the teachings of the Jedi and the ways, and he knows he has to get closer to the dark side for certain tasks and certain things he's got to do. And it's just teething on like that closeness with his father of turning. And seeing Luke show up and just totally destroy those dark troopers, those mega troopers, just like it was nothing. And as soon as you saw that green lightsaber pop up, it was like, I remember I've never clapped. Tears of joy. Tears of joy, clapping. I remember clapping. There was only 2 things that I've clapped at a screen ever in my life, like on a TV show or anything. It was that moment, and then in Game of Thrones when what's his name showed up in the dragon and took out that whole fucking army in that one episode. But
we had different experiences with that episode.
Yeah, fuck Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones ruined everything.
Yeah, but as you were clapping when that lightsaber ignited, I'm sitting there telling my wife, "Don't be Luke. Don't be Luke.
Really?
Don't be Luke."
Yeah, because it's funny because Lopez says, and this is why I didn't mind that it was Luke. I minded 2 things about that scene. One, Lopez has said it. He wants it to expand and move on, and by doing that, I felt like they brought it back. Where there's a lot of characters that I thought we could have seen and would have been equally as cool.
would've been
You know what I
just
mean?
Yeah, but
and number two, the scene that they did there, and why I have a little bit of a problem with it is because that scene in Rogue One is when I saw Rogue One in the theater, and I saw that exact same scene done by Darth Vader, and I was like, this scene is perfect.
Yeah,
It's literally a perfect scene.
they did it
And
with
I
Darth
do
Maul.
not like
Darth
when
Maul had the
anybody.
same scene. Darth Maul
And-
had the same scene.
Hold on.
Yep.
But I just do not like, but the one in Rogue One is the perfect. That's it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And I hate it because we get Han not shooting first anymore whenever they mess up
That's
with something
canon.
perfect in Star Wars. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So yeah, it did make me cry.
And also my favorite moment on the show this year, I'm going to second Solo
Steve
Wookie
was.
said it in the comments. When Steve Horn was on during that droid battle and his magnum opus, the way he came prepared and dropped that,
Steve
he
Horn
just
was
dropped
great.
the hammer, man. It was just absolutely
Steve
amazing. So shout out
Horn.
Steve Horn, man.
By
I
the way,
love
we got
Steve ever
stuff to
since
still give
then.
away from Steve, man.
Can I just, you know what? I forgot my best moment of the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was JJ with his knowledge of the mask holdings and Hugo Damask. Yeah.
Yep. Of course it is. All right, now that we've let Jedi simmer for a while, do we buy the 2 minutes Pete so that he can get going?
I didn't need 2 minutes. I just needed 2 seconds. But
2
yes,
seconds.
Now I'm pissed at Solo Wookie
Yes.
because what the hell, man? All right.
Oh,
Hey,
because you picked that one too.
Well, no, because Solo said that was his favorite moment. I mean, dad jokes, all the good times.
All right.
Whatever, Solo. All right. All right. So yeah, my favorite first appearance. Obviously, JJ copied my homework because I turned this in first, and I had Lorna D. But so I won't talk so much about Lorna D. But Diva Lumpop. Wow. I mean, I don't know if it's just that the way her jaw unhinges. I don't know what it is, but I'm really digging this chick. So she's my favorite first appearance. I'm kind of bummed that they haven't done more with her because she is badass and she's sexy, and yeah, I could go on. So along the same lines, my favorite comic book cover. I like the High Republic 1 in 10 because it's really the first, not first comic appearance, but first cover appearance, I guess, of Lorna D. Mm-hmm. And again, the second print of the Jabba the Hutt one shot with Lorna D. I don't normally go for these action break, these where they kind of dismantle a character like that. Really, but it's Lorna D, so I'm all over it. Yeah, I like
that one too. I'm like you. Design variants aren't my thing, but I liked that one.
Shows her unhinged jaw.
That's cool.
Yeah, dig it.
Blade 2.
And then my favorite pop is Dom mentioned it too. I like the Mandalorian 462 pop. First one since, like you said, Return of the Jedi. I thought, in fact, whenever we discussed this, I think, and I don't know if Dom was with us yet or not, but I think he was actually, that this was my favorite pop. I thought they captured a lot of the details of Boba Fett really well on this one, better than all the others, in my opinion, in the past.
If I may, I remember when you did this. It was Dom was here because you heard Dom was coming on, and you're like, "Cool, I got to pop in a bunch of questions I want to ask him," and it was about this. This pop. So, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. He was there, and then I'm just going to ad lib a couple. I'm going to go off script. So my worst Star Wars moment and my worst show moment are the same moment, and you all know what it is, right?
Keep winning.
No, that was bad too.
No.
But no. Visions, God Almighty!
Oh, geez, yeah.
So the fact that first of all, I don't like it. I'm not an anime guy, and it was bad enough that and then Marco has this bright idea. Hey, why don't you just watch it in Japanese and tell us what you think it's about? And it's ruined it forever for me. Yeah.
Now you're blaming it on me.
Come on, the duel was awesome, man.
Thank you,
I
Jedi.
still
That's
haven't watched
amazing. Good job. Yeah, I know. Good. Great job, Jedi. I appreciate it.
So those
I
two
will
just
say-
intersected right there with Visions.
His,
All right, Pete.
His surprising accuracy, despite watching only in Japanese, was startling at moments of time.
And he still disliked it. Like he hated it. Won't ever watch it again. All right. Well, I mean, I thought everybody enjoyed that segment, so I don't know why you thought it was so bad. It's legendary at this
He
point.
hated the shows.
Pete, he was going to hate it in English. He's going to hate it any way you watch.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, like it was what it was. Anyways, Pete, do you have mine? Do you have
I
my
do
slide
have
or no?
it. You ready
Thank
to
you.
do
I
yours?
appreciate that. Yeah, sure.
All right, here you go.
Yeah, we're hoping, Wayseeker, that season 2,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to have Jedi watch it again, but he refuses to. All right, let's see what we got, Pete.
So you
Where
first
you gonna
pick your best comic.
Yeah,
appearance?
best comic. So this is why I picked her, though. Like, I like all of it. I think when, not just her cover in the first one, not her full appearance, but even when she took off her mask. And there's a lot of other characters that I enjoyed this year, but between the novels and her appearances in there, and then her when she was in the comics, they did enough in the comics. I think, like when you think about Lone Pop or even like the whole crew for the Vassal, they didn't really do a lot with them, right? With her, she seems a lot like she did in the novels, and I think they did her justice, and they've given her just enough. And her look, every time they draw her, except for this one cover behind me, they did a really great job of it. So it's over this cover. Isn't this her? Yeah, this cover's bad. But besides that one, but I got that on clearance. So I thought they did a great job. And when she took off her mask, I thought that's what she should have looked like from the book description and everything too. So that's why she was my first appearance. Plus, I really like the character. But I mean, I like Rowan them too. I just think they did a crappy job with how he looks. So next.
All right. So your next was your.
This is cool. Look at this. Hey,
try to do something.
That's
Best Star Wars
nice.
moment of 2021.
It's fancy. What was my best Star Wars moment of 2021?
We'll get to
yeah.
it.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. One of the best moments. I almost cried.
You should have
I
drafted
cried.
him.
This is where he cried.
This is. Yeah, I should have. I should have. I should have drafted this guy. I think I made a joke about drafting this guy. I like him. If you know anything about me, you know that I like niche stuff, like really weird crap. And like for some reason, I'm obsessed with Max Rebo, and that like
This is a great figure.
Huh?
The figure, the old school figure.
I still have it.
The keyboard.
With
Yeah,
I do with the
awesome.
organ too. Like I love it. And I'd incorporate him into GI Joe sometimes and stuff, and like it was really cool.
They have a Funko Pop.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but I'm not huge into Funko.
He'd probably
Pops.
fit right in 100 Acre Wood with
He looks
Eeyore
like
too.
he looks like a beanbag chair.
Well, so he's technically playing with his feet right there, and he's sitting on a pad, so his butt is kind of like almost at the tip top of the organ, which is pretty interesting because they have his species in two ways, where sometimes they're on 4 feet like a hippopotamus or like an elephant, and sometimes they play the piano or the organ.
He's playing with
their
his feet. I did not know
Yes.
that.
No, he does his arms.
Yes. No.
It's going to be the most
he's playing with his feet.
Max Rebo analysis ever.
He's playing with his feet.
So where are his arms?
He doesn't have arms. He has feet.
Oh.
He uses his nostril to do stuff.
Wait a second.
I have a question, Marco.
Yep.
Would, Max Rebo be more memorable than any character from the sequels?
For me, yeah, for sure.
Overall?
I mean, I like him. I don't know.
No, I was being sarcastic.
I know.
Wait a second. How are those his feet and not just he just has arms with no legs? They're coming out.
No,
of his
yeah, no. So like, if you look at it, like this is bad, but when you finish panning, you can tell that he's like sitting because of how it is what Pete Star Wars, man. I mean, what do you want me to tell you?
Bro,
20 minutes
he's an
now.
elephant.
Yeah, I mean, do you really want me to get through this whole thing?
I don't know. All right, fine. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Moving on.
He hasn't gonna
Best
get breakdown
Star Wars
20
moment or best of Star Wars 2020.
The best of Star Wars 2021. I really thought this was like, they've done all right, but I think not Ireland. I think between Gray's book and Scott's book for the novels, they were two of like really great novels. They did a great job. I think I was looking for somebody else besides Timothy to write something, and I was hoping that the building and character development would be good because it's really hard for like the the guys that dig into all this stuff to get crappy character building. And those two novels and those two people writing novels, I think did probably some of the most amazing jobs we've had besides Timothy on it. And it was really good. So I enjoyed that part of it. That was my best part of it.
I got to interrupt.
I was surprised.
To ask Pete. I know Pete put together these slides for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you intentionally pick the Ireland?
No, I guess I picked the wrong book.
You picked the wrong. That's the one book I think was probably the one that you wrote. That was arguably the worst book of fun. Yeah, that was arguably the worst.
I could have swore that's what you wrote, which is why I picked
it. No.
That was like the Star Wars 90210 where everybody was hitting on each other.
Yeah, everybody was in a relationship and like old people were hitting on little kids and a bunch of other stuff. It was not good.
I fudged up, guys.
It's okay.
I thought you did it on purpose to troll them.
No, that's messed up.
No, that's all right. That's fine. But yeah, no, that was good. Like it's been a great year for Star Wars, which is, I guess, just exceptional, right? Like even if you were crying,
debatable.
No, it wasn't. If you're crying for Luke, or if you're the worst. This was the worst. This was the worst. I forgot about this. Yeah, this was the worst.
Yeah.
The get-go, this is how they start to try to pitch it halfway through with only like 2 months left. It was just, I think we couldn't. This was one of. It's funny. Gonzo said that about the Marco hates everything, because this was one of the comments that came out when we rolled out with this, and we were like, "Do we see anything positive?" And I got some hate mail from somebody who literally said to the fact like, "How can you guys call yourself a Star Wars show? All you do is say how bad the Star Wars adventure, villainy, and hero book is," and which is true, and then how this is going to fail and it sucks. Well, this failed and it sucks, and villainy and heroes got IDW not doing Star Wars books anymore. So I don't know.
It's kind of sad that it looks better in gray than it did in the final.
Yeah, but you should have seen how Patrick here was trying to sell it to. It was a mess. It was just such a mess.
No, that was James.
This is James. I know, but we don't want to get hit again. So but yeah, I mean, that was probably the worst thing ever. It was sad just because of how they did it. It was sad because of how they pitched it. It was sad how they tried to fix it. It was just sad, man. The whole how they sold. Remember, they were selling it as its largest figure by extending its arms as far as they could with the fingertips out.
Wide span.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so bad. So I have to say that probably was the worst. But overall, even with those two things as being the worst, we still got like a lot of great stuff. Adventures was probably one of the best comic lines. You've heard me say that 100 times. We got some great novels out of it. I don't care if you like the Luke portion of it or not, that Mandalorian was still pretty darn good. You know what I mean? It was a great show.
Yeah, and you say that, and there were multiple moments in Mandalorian this year that were like game changer.
Yeah.
The Ahsoka, the
Amazing.
Luke, the Grogu stuff, like so many good moments. You're right, man.
Right. I mean, it was just like there's just so much good stuff. Even the Bad Batch, if you didn't like some of the slow parts, and it's fine. It's still animation's on point. Like they're doing so much. I know Lopez wants the expansion and I want it too, but at the same time,
I do.
Go ahead. They're doing so much great stuff, man. I think it's great to be in the fandom.
Mandalorian was this year, beginning of this year.
Was it the this
season
was
2?
Last year,
actually no, it was last year. I didn't want.
Oh, was it?
You can't see.
So somebody called Luke on it. All you people said Luke can't harass me.
Luke happened this year, didn't it? It happened right after.
No, that was December last year.
Yeah, it was like December.
Yeah,
December's when it's December's when it started, wasn't it?
Yeah, December's when
December.
Mandalorian started.
It started earlier this year.
So like a calendar
Mandalorian
year.
ended the 13th of December last year.
Okay.
Because they had to kick off the
Ended on
March
the 13th.
shows.
Okay.
WandaVision was January.
Whatever, man.
The last great
We're
moment.
calling
of
it this
Star Wars.
year. Whatever.
That's been the last greatest moment.
Good call, Lopez. But either way, that's a roll-in. Like it's even if you don't take that, we still got Boba. Wait, Boba did start this year, so I mean we got Boba too,
Boba
man.
stuck it in for this year.
But
Boba
that
Fett showed up at the end of Mandalorian season 2, the end credit.
That blows me away. That means that we really didn't get much.
I know it seems
Star
weird,
Wars
right?
Right.
all
That's
of
why
2021.
That's why it's like debatable that it was a good year for Star Wars. It was more of a.
You got
mediocre
Visions. Oh,
Visions was good. I like, but that's what I'm saying. But we did get the novels. We
got
like
Lord of the D. We got Lord of the D.
High Republic. Well, not just them. The crew of the Vassals really good. They could have really ruined because if how High Republic and Marvel started off, if that was their whole blueprint, was that portion, that first arc, High Republic would be a freaking disaster.
And shout out to Wanted Comics on those great Will Sliney.
Yeah, they had some great Will
Oh,
Sliney.
yeah, shit.
Good stuff. Yeah, he had some good Will Sliney cover. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, if that was it, if all we got was that Marvel run, and Dangear, the plant people, like, we're in trouble. But they came out with a lot of good stuff in the expanded world, and then even for the comics, they gave you adventures. And I don't If you don't like the adventure stuff, like
Adventures
I
was
mean, I
good.
hear you, but like I thought it was great. So
There
you go.
Can I do
Well,
one
we're
pickup
not-
of the year real quick?
We're still not done, but yes, you go one pickup.
Oh yeah, the little kids too.
I'll do one pick. This was my pickup of the year. I
Pete,
just
we're
wanna show
missing
it.
you. We're gonna kick you out. We
Not
still haven't even
me.
got to the
Ruben,
review.
too.
By the way, we still have our Book of Fett review coming up. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it.
So
Oh, that's
I picked this up in February of this year, and I think I actually texted Marco when I got it, but it was a $5 eBay purchase.
Yeah.
For this
Yeah.
1 in 40
Nice.
Rebel Heist #3 Adam Hughes cover.
The Hughes cover, yeah.
That's quite rare, but now it was a
Ah,
$5
you wanna go lay
eBay
down?
purchase, and
In the other room?
yeah,
No?
the thing I actually purchased to buy was a magazine. It was the Femme Fatale magazine with Slave Leia on the cover, and this was the bonus to that purchase.
Oh my
threw it
god!
for free.
Wow.
They threw it for free.
Magazine.
So there for those people that don't know, there was a Han sketch cover for that one too. There was a Luke sketch cover. The Leia. Was that it? Is there one more?
No, there's a
Chewie, I
super
think.
rare.
Well, they're Chewie.
There's
Chewie.
a super rare Han, not sketch cover, right, for the Phoenix Comic
Yeah,
Con.
the Phoenix.
Phoenix
yeah,
Comic-Con,
the Phoenix
yeah.
Comic-Con. Kind of, well, not really Virgin, but they take all the background out, I think.
Background out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but out of the sketches, there was 4 of them for that. So I mean, that was what he said. He's like, dude, look what I got for $5. And I was like, oh, dude. He's like, or I got this, and it was the magazine, and they told me he bought the. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
man,
as the bonus.
Good for you. Yeah.
Nice pickup.
Oh, the Young Kids book was great too. Yeah, Wayseeker. I don't think it was terrible. Yeah, we got Geo too. That's what I'm saying. The Vassal kids, like the whole Vassal stuff, was good too. I thought. Pete, let's not. Let's
You
not.
got any more?
Yeah.
Well, before
Pete's
I
got
do mine,
Pete, we have Pete. Yeah.
we do have mine, but I'm going to run Ruben's too.
Okay,
Ruben
run
gave us
Ruben.
one more video, so I'm going to run Ruben's video before
Go
mine.
for it.
Okay.
It's
Dark Side Crew. Here's my entries. For the first comic book appearance I like, gotta go with my boy Martian Rowe. I find his character intriguing. For the best comic book cover, there's literally no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. For the best Funko Pops, I believe they came out this year. I'm not a big Funko guy, but Raven and Malik, come on. Hasbro Pulse. Gotta represent. And my favorite Dark Side Crew moment has to be the episode I was in. May the Force be with you guys.
Film from his 3 deep wall of awesome Star Wars.
Yeah, looked amazing.
dude, they're not 3 deep. They're like 6 deep.
Yeah. Crazy.
6 deep.
They're like 6 deep because he said
It's like an onion.
Well, we'll get to that.
Layers.
I do have another video from Ruben coming up later. He said I can't pick the action figures because there's too many. Anyway.
Oh boy.
All right. I guess it's mine.
Pete, you're up.
Awkward silence.
Yep.
Pete, yeah. Don't let him go awkward silence.
Well, I had to do an awkward bathroom trip. I've been sitting here for a while.
All right.
With that said, all right. So my best of 2021 is going to be ground we pretty much covered in some parts because, well, everybody else got to go first. So you guys stole all my picks except for this one. Nobody else likes this guy, I guess, as much as I do, but Porter Engel is my guy.
He's cool.
Yep.
He's Seagal and Under Siege. I love him.
Just the cook, man.
He's the cook. So I knew everybody was going to pick like Lorna D and whatnot. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to pick this guy. So I went with Porter. And yes, my cover has been picked quite a few times already before, starting with Morello and JJ and basically everybody else here on the panel. Yes. And I did not get this one. It's the Afro.
Me too.
And that, I don't know. I think that was that wasn't this year. It was the year before, wasn't it?
No, this is.
I looked. It was early. It
this
was
year.
early 2021.
Early this year. Yeah, like January, I think.
Something like it was. I tried to
Or
check it.
came
to make
out in
sure.
January. Yeah.
It was like everybody picking it.
Yeah, well, it's you look at it. I look at it. It's at what $600.98.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Dude,
You can't even find raw ones, and if you do, they're $400.
Yeah, dude.
but
I
it's a
sold
great
one with a
cover,
rip.
but-
I sold him one with a rip, 2 with marble rub, and they, it's look at it. It was beautiful.
It's a great cover, but it looks nothing like Afro. But okay, but you're right. It's a great cover.
Yeah,
I still think it looks like Top Gun.
Yeah. I'm with Jedi on it.
What does that
Guys,
look like?
she's imaginary. She can look like whatever anybody wants to draw her. Like,
I guess. What does Luke look like then? Because you all have an opinion on what.
No, until they are cast in a film, and then that.
Yeah,
that
shot
first.
what he looks like.
Shot first.
All right.
All right. With that, yeah, I decided to go with my best dark side moment of 2021, and even this one got spoiled.
Really?
This was it. R2, baby.
Boo! It was rigged. It was rigged.
There should be an asterisk by that. I've been lobbying for an asterisk, but
don't worry. I'm gonna be lobbying for some asterisks later on. So.
I know. And you're gonna get the same result I did.
Fun year. Folks.
Yeah, big shout out to Fisher and Sticks. I know he's sick, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But and then to our boy over there, Steve Horn. By the way, speaking of that, did I tell everybody? Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I tell everybody what Steve Horn sent us to give away? I must have, right?
Oh, you mentioned it on the tack show. Yeah.
Oh, I mentioned it on the tack show.
You did?
You don't tell us.
I think you did.
So yeah,
I was there. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh no, he didn't just send
the tack
one.
show.
We got a whole case of these.
You didn't do it. Maybe you
so-
did this on.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
so
I-
we'll be doing this like next week or maybe throughout for a little bit. We'll give away some more of those. I'll hunt out a couple of the 42s and
That's
everything
right.
else.
The
So
mini
we got
comic
some of that
packs.
stuff. Yeah, the mini comic packs with the 3D stuff and everything like that. Hey, what's going on, Jeff Harris? Good to see you. Hope you're not working
Jeff.
today. Good to see you. All right. Is that it? We're good. All right. Let's get into
We're good with the 2021. The 2021 is now.
We got Ruben done. We got all of our videos done. 2021's done. Let's go into Boba Fett review.
JR,
We had
JR didn't get his.
JR. Go.
yeah.
Sorry, man. Forget JR. Way to go, Pete.
Well, you forgot me, and I got pissed off, so I forgot everything else.
Okay. Well, okay. All right. Where is he at? Share. You got the share screen?
I do.
He's quiet.
Your mic is low,
Mike's
JR.
going. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost your mic.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
Keep it,
A little better.
put it
Barely.
closer to your mouth. We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, let me try this again for my share screen. I think my headset's dying for some reason.
Yeah, because we heard you fine earlier.
Yeah.
There we go. See if that works.
Perfect.
All right, we can hear you.
I'm surprised no one announced this one at all. To me, this is one of my favorite covers. At least for the number ones. Brian, you stole my character I was going to pick for favorite character. With or whatever his name is.
Court. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Court.
Court.
So I'm going to go with Geo. Is my favorite
Oh,
character.
nice. Nice.
Good one.
I love it. Love it.
And then I thought, for some reason, I thought Mandalorian was this year too, but I'm going to go with Bad Batch when, what's his name? The Bruiser made the bedroom for Omega.
Oh.
When Wrecker, yeah.
Yeah, when he made a
Yeah,
bed.
no one else mentioned Bad Batch. Good going.
Oh yeah, Cad Bane. Damn.
Yeah, when Cat Bane showed up.
Yeah, Cad Bane was there. That's kind of cool too.
Probably the other good moment is Kathleen Kennedy, or not Kathleen, not her.
Don't say her name. Don't say her name.
The movie that we're
Candyman.
at the end of this year.
No, you
coming
just
up.
can't say it 3 times, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's
What's that?
watching.
X-Wing.
She's watching.
That got canceled.
What got canceled?
X-Wing didn't it get canceled?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might be a
Patty
good thing.
Jenkins.
Hey, Jenkins.
But then it's not canceled now.
It's been put back. They said
Delayed.
Delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same with the Ryan Johnson films.
Yeah, anything that gets delayed in Star Wars is done. Ask
it's
about
done.
all the
Pretty much
video
done,
games
yeah.
that have been delayed.
Well,
Or
she
1313. I'm still waiting for 1313. It's been 30 years, man.
He left
Like-
Cleopatra to do the Rogue Squadron to write it
Yeah.
better. So
That is a
Hopefully-
rumor. That is. Yeah.
Hopefully it's not what they were saying it was going to be.
Yeah, I still don't want that.
No, I do not want Top Gun fucking Star Wars.
I do. Fucking A. Bring
That's
it
what
on,
you-
man.
No, that's not. So that's still
Top
not a
Gun.
good
Was,
idea.
hey, if you Top Gun was a great fucking movie, man.
It was.
It's a
so leave it
classic.
as Top
It's a
Gun. Like,
classic.
yo, you don't got to cross everything.
Galactica type.
Get some
Not
Kenny
everything's got
Loggins
to
in
be
Star
a
Wars.
mashup, bro.
Yeah. No. There's 2 O's in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes.
I'm gonna, before you get into the Boba Fett stuff, the mortar rounds are starting again tonight, so I'm gonna go take care of the pup. But one thing that I do want to say, and my thing that I'm hoping doesn't happen for Star Wars comics next year and comics in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of homage covers. No more fucking homage covers, please.
Well, I agree. 100%. I don't like homages.
They are overdone.
We can't have a Spider-Man 300, Star Wars 300.
No, even my favorite homage covers, and like the only people that do homage covers are Stray Dogs right now. To me, you know what I mean? Like, do the ones like I don't mind when you do them and they're like smart homage covers, but I'm tired of them. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, I do like homage covers, and I do like the Stray Dogs ones, but at the same time, I don't need 50 homages for any product or any.
I think
property.
Vader's Castle was a little bit different too, because it was kind of like a way of doing it, you know, an homage, and at the same time, I don't mind that as much. But I hear what you guys are saying.
It's as burnt as what's her name is Scarlett Johansson, in my opinion. That being said, I do want to say this. I do want to say this. I am very, very happy and proud to see this show doing so well. I think that you guys really hit your stride this year. I think that you guys came together. You formed a Voltron that was absolutely awesome. Dom, I've been saying it for a long time. Your IG has been great. I love continue doing your stuff on IG. Jedi, you have really made this show something amazing. I love your intros. I love what you bring to this. JJ is one of the best talking heads in the content creation sphere. So keep doing that. We all know Peter is, I talk him up all the time. He puts together the best stuff, best content on comics on YouTube, and we all know Marco. Hey, I love Marco, man. Marco is my dog. JR, nice to meet you. And Lopez, we need to get you more on this shit, my friend.
Yeah,
we need to see you more, brother.
I gotta get it signed off by Kathleen Kennedy, bro.
Fuck it.
You know, it took a miracle to get me here, bro. It really did. You know.
Well, it was a good one. So that being said, continue rocking it, and I'll be on multiple. I'm gonna try and jump on as much as I can with you guys, and just keep doing a good job.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping in, Brian.
Much love. Happy New Year, guys.
Thank you very much. Yep, we'll see you later.
He's right. He's right.
No, yeah, this is a great crew, man. I really do appreciate everybody who does everything here.
My first appearance. You can NXT this moment right now. Is that what they're called? NXT? Like the digital.
Yeah, are you talking about
that's an NFT for you?
Yeah. He's hitting all the numbers tonight.
Yeah, it's
$1
million.
It would be worth $1 in the morning.
Let's start talking taxes next.
Yeah, we're gonna talk taxes. Pay your taxes next. All right, so let's. Hey, I do want to say this about JR. That Geo, I do actually like. That was like my secondary character. If I knew everybody's picking up Laura D, that's who I was gonna go with, because his intro to comics was exactly, I think, what from reading the novel I expected. Like they did that so cleverly, where they put him in the vines and stuff like that, and he was doing the whole popping around everywhere. That was a great pick too. I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed a lot of stuff they did. Now,
I hope they don't unravel how he does those.
Me neither. I think it should be a running joke. It should be one of those things where like give us something. Give us as Star Wars people that maybe read the extra bits a little, like a wink and a nod. You know what I mean? Like where we can go around and just give the wink and the nod to each other. And that would be really cool. I forgot to thank Brian for this too, though, real quickly, but he was the guy that taught me how to turn the lights on. And I always appreciate that. Like if it wasn't him, I wouldn't know how to turn on a StreamYard. I would never met Pete for that matter. And then me and Pete got to do everything we get to do now, which is really awesome.
Well, I do appreciate him for that, but you still don't know how to turn the lights on.
No, I really don't. I mean, I bashed it, but it works. I mean, it's not how you're supposed to do it, but it works. But yeah, JR, I think that's great. And I think they should. I think you're right. If they keep that character as something that stays in our chat and between our group and every other small, wildly fandom, like that's a secret handshake, and I think it would be really cool if we can continue that going too. So that's awesome. All right, let's talk about Book of Fett, because I know that's what people want.
I did not look at your slides, JJ, so
I didn't look at them either. So let's go. Book of Fett. Anybody not like this? Anybody?
I was more
some people might not have.
not like it.
What's that? JR?
I was more underwhelmed. I was expecting a little more, I think.
Oh, we lost your sound again. We can't hear you again.
You're expecting more?
He's expecting a little more, he said.
Yeah. I guess I could get to a little bit. Like, I think, and don't you have a list, Jedi, of like things that happened here that.
So, yeah, I mean, you asked me to make a list as the person who knows. Well, as the person, a lot of times these, what are we calling them now? Fan happiness moments, or these
fan happiness?
Fan happiness.
Fan happiness. Sometimes they'll go over your head, and some there's probably some in here that went over my head, but Marco asked me to kind of just make a list. Do you want me to do it now, the whole list, or?
I would like it because, like, I think when we go through and review it, we'll start to see these points, because I think a lot of the not criticism I've heard, and Darth Lopez says it, and they're like, oh, it's not criticism, but it'll pick up. But I think it's the intent of the show here is to do this. And like, if you're missing some of the points of it, like, it's sometimes when you taste a cake and you're like, oh, this cake's good, but you don't know. You're like, it needs more sugar, but you're like, man, they put in like 20 pounds of sugar. You can't put it in.
What do you mean you taste the cake?
Russians are
You
back.
can't put more sugar in once the cake is baked.
The Russians are back. But go ahead, JJ.
So yeah, well, I mean, because we kind of went through this a little bit on Wednesday's tack show, and some of the people were saying they wanted more fan happiness. There wasn't enough. So again, there's probably some that I didn't see. So I'm sure there's more. I did notice a lot of the fan happiness moments occurred kind of the first half of the show, or maybe the first 20, 25 minutes, at least that I saw. But so first of all, we had Jabba's empty palace, right? It just opened with Jabba's empty palace. That
was kind of cool.
That we got to see more of. We saw visions of Camino as Boba was in his bacta tank dreaming.
If you hit the next thing, it's kind of cool. Go ahead.
We saw baby. I saw boy Boba finding his dad's head, Jango, which I've now understand that those are actually different camera angles or different scenes than what was actually in the movie.
There was like a wider shot.
Yeah, it was cut footage. Yep.
And a lot of people have that. These underlining meanings of what some of this means. I won't get into that, but we saw inside the Sarlacc, right? That's been the biggest question probably since Return of the Jedi, is what happened inside that Sarlacc. We saw how he escaped, obviously, and we'll go into that more later, I think. We saw Jabba's, as he exited the spoiler alert, as he exited the Sarlacc, we saw Jabba's wrecked sand barge in the background. We saw the Jawas and the Sandcrawler as they robbed him of his armor. We saw the Tusken Raiders
from the novels,
or Sand People. Marco talked about it. He's very excited about it. We saw Max Rebo and possibly Fagrin Dan. I don't know if that was him or not. Some people are speculating it was Fagrin Dan, whatever. We saw the torture droid from Return of the Jedi. Is back in there. My favorite, and you know why, Boba Fett's line that almost made me jump out of my seat clapping is, hey, well, he didn't say, hey, we really need a protocol droid. Boom, C-3PO call out. Thank you.
Yeah.
We saw a Walrus Man. We saw the Trandoshan with the Wookiee skin. We saw Gamorrean guards, and maybe we'll talk about this a little later. We now find out why they are Gamorrean guards. They kicked a little ass in this episode, which is, they're not just punchline characters anymore. And of course, we saw server droids, and that's kind of what I had. And there's probably more, but fan service, I think this episode was full of fan service.
Yeah, it was hugely full of fan service.
Fan happiness. Sorry,
happiness. Yeah,
fan happiness.
Yeah, I think it crossed over and gave it, like I said the other day, it gave you stuff from the novels, some of the stuff from the comics, and some of the stuff from the movie. So I think it crossed all those levels. I do understand that maybe that didn't play for everybody. Maybe they were looking for a little bit more. But at the same time, I think we're going to get more. So I do think that I guess my hope with the show is that we don't. I rewatched it again, but this time I watched it with they give you the ability. You could either get closed captioning or you could have it like read out to you, the description of each page, each scene.
Audio description.
Audio description. I did it with the audio description, which added a little something to it too, just to double check some things that I think are going on there. But I think it has.
That was a point.
Thanks, buddy.
This was a point.
Oh,
disintegration.
Yeah, that's a point. I don't doubt that's a point.
No, I think I get it.
I think now you got me confused with the point. Oh, so the whole part about like the Star Wars feeling, I always like when they go back, like Mandalorian had a Star Wars feeling because it had the spaghetti Western, but also was really about, the samurai, which we get all the way back to all the Kurosawa stuff. In this part, especially in the beginning when they had the Major Domo come in, was like directly, and we're going to have Sam on next week a little bit to talk about it more, but that's all feudal Japan stuff. And that's all that type of air when they were showing
you want me to go back to that
stuff. We can, but I thought that was one of the most,
really?
I mean, the Rodriguez thing ahead of it, I thought was corny and stupid, but like, that's all right. So
we got this guy.
Yeah, Taco forward with the cash. Yeah. That's Rodriguez.
I thought it was a Tupperware.
Well, yeah. Well, it had a bunch of coins in it when he opened it.
It looked like he brought him like casserole.
I mean, I guess you had to do this.
Well, I started clicking through because I was lined up with what Jedi was talking about for a while.
No, that's good.
And I was clicking.
What did you guys think of this part, though? Did you think? I mean, it was I knew they set it up for this character.
That's the man right there.
But it was really well done, and that part is right out of earlier stuff that they would do in Japanese films, and a lot of stuff that came out of even the language they were using for it.
Apologies,
like he referred
apologies.
Yeah, but he referred to himself as a crime lord, which then he referred to him as the Domo, and a Domo would have been the lord in feudal Japan.
Daimo, yeah, Daimo.
Which would have been the lord in feudal Japan, which is interesting because when you have a lot of these stories where it would always be whenever like the shogun would pass away, a lot of times there would be one who has a life-changing event, and then he decides he's like the better, or he was the one that was picked and he thinks he's going to always take over and it's going to be easy. And there's always some other guy there that's setting him up or ready to take him down. And I think you see that through this, and this speech that he gives happens all the time, which I thought was really cool. So
I can understand the confusion, but
yeah, he knows. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it. And I think, do you guys think that? I mean, when we were talking about the boss, like I think that's who the other boss is, because like if that's the storyline they're doing, which would make sense because of how much they like to use, the Japanese culture in that.
Yeah, this was a great scene. This was one of my favorite scenes in the
This is my favorite scene too.
Like, don't be surprised if there's another delegation that.
And their banter, the banter between Boba and Finnick was great. The whole you really need a protocol droid, and the whole oh, that's funny. I used to work for him. He's coming to pay me tribute. And
yeah. I mean, but did you like it? I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought that part was a little bit choppy because he was like, the threat thing or whatever. But then it too closely foreshadowed this next speech, which was brilliant in my opinion.
Well, of course, it's foreshadow.
You gotta be
foreshadowing.
Gotta be a little obvious at times. I mean,
so let me ask you a question now.
Go ahead, Dom.
I know, in my mind, I know already the scene when they're walking in town to go see Jennifer Beal, and they're walking and they get
got a name now.
They get
I don't remember what it is.
Kisa.
Well, anyway, they're in the town with no weapons. They're walking with no guns. And in my mind, I already know why, but it's odd seeing Boba walk around without his rifle. I know he got destroyed in Return of the Jedi, but he had weapons in Mando.
The gaffy stick and the other rifles is what you're saying.
Yeah, the gaffy stick.
Well, you go and kind of walk around with a sniper rifle in the middle of town. That's not going to help you.
I know, but to avoid a situation like what happened with the other guys attacking him.
Right. So that's where it really takes the tie from the Japanese culture is like he's supposed to, it's like when they were talking about him being on, carrying him and everything like that. The other part of it is he's supposed to be able to walk through his town with no weapons and not be accosted.
Yeah.
So that was a show of force by doing that. It's always what happens. Like then they're like, wait a minute, not everybody respects me. And like,
he still had a jetpack though.
It could have blown you up.
And an arm cannon and a flamethrower.
That was one of the things that
we tried the flamethrower.
Brought up.
Work.
What Dom brought up is something that I actually thought about during the show when I was watching it is, hey, he's got a badass assassin at his side and he's got 2 Grimorian guards. What else have you got that's going to defend your, territory? Do you have any other, do you have an army? Do you have any other assets, we'll call. I mean,
well, I mean, the two guards apparently have got swords. He disintegrated somebody and bashed somebody's head in. She killed a couple people too, one pushing off a thing. So like, I mean, they did pretty good for themselves.
Also, if I may, I think Flashdance hired these guys. That's my little thought.
Oh, I think Flashdance just was laughing at him because she's under the mayor's thumb. But
I did find this fight scene a little bit
Wait,
odd.
you're talking about Jennifer Beals? You're saying Flash?
Yeah. Jennifer Beals. Yeah. I don't know her name.
Okay.
I thought that was her real name. I was like,
Flashdance.
Yeah, well, that's the Flashdance. That's the Flashdance.
Flashdance.
Yeah, no,
I get it. I didn't.
I think she hired
crazy
because she gave a look. She gave like a, like a what do you call that word? Devious look when she gives them money. When she walks off, she gave him like a look. So I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely was like, you think who you are, but I'm just I think it was the mayor because you see this shot later where he's
might be. All I will say, I will have issues with this fight scene just in the way that they staged it.
Yeah,
because
that's a Rodriguez thing too.
Yeah, because it didn't make sense. Like, what the hell were the Gamorrean guards doing for like 5 minutes before they decided, hey,
they disappeared and then reappeared? They literally were gone when they were
I kind of got
one of my really my.
What was that, JR?
My only.
I was gonna say, I got the impression that Boba Fett was going out there. He wanted this to happen. Like he was purposely like
looking around,
looking for a fight.
Yeah, looking for a fight. He just wanted to test the boundary. I mean, that's what he always did in the novels and stuff. He'd always kind of like
he got tested pretty good because he got his butt kicked.
Yeah,
so I think he probably had the Gamorreans stay away for a little while. I mean, that's what I thought at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think once again it was kind of like how I hinted out before. I didn't have such big of a problem with that because it's supposed to be he's allowed to walk his quote on streets unmolested, and then he got molested.
It's very Godfather-esque. Like walk down the street.
Before we go too much further,
it's still not his streets yet, though.
Well, in their mind, that's where I'm saying. Like,
I had with this episode. Sorry, the only problem I did have with this episode.
Yes,
because this scene, as everyone knows, I watched this scene like almost frame by frame because we'll get to that later. And then the other fight later that comes towards the end when he's fighting the desert monster, I felt like it wasn't edited very well.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're saying in the chat, T. Jones is saying it, so's Astro. I mean, I don't, we kind of joked about too, like you're shooting your guns while falling backwards and then you throw it underneath your hip and then like, yeah, but that's could you imagine if he did, if you go back and watch the reviews when we reviewed The Mandalorian and he directed that episode, you hear me clearly say, I'm not quite sure I want him doing his fight scenes in Star Wars. And like, they toned it down, but it's still this. This is what we're going to get.
He shot 3 missiles out of his rocket launcher. How did he reload?
3.
Yeah.
Because he did it at the shield. Oh, no. It gets worse. The guy that he kills, because of how they did the editing, actually gets up and runs away at one point, like after he killed him. So like, no, it's real bad. Like that. Yeah. The fight scene's not good. I guess, but when people said that is that JR, is that where you're getting at? Or where I want to understand the disappointment.
What do you mean?
Well, because you said like it could be better, right? Is that this is how we start?
I expected more from the show in general. And I just thought the editing would be better. I thought overall, again, my mic's going out, I think.
Yeah, the editing.
Yeah. But editing and just in general, the story I felt was a little lackluster for the first episode.
If we get this whole season of 30-minute episodes and 18 of the minutes of the episode or 20 minutes of the episode is all flashbacks, are we going to have an issue with that? Because I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to have a major problem.
You have an issue with this episode, though. You said
I didn't have an issue with it. No. I didn't have an issue with this episode because of this. If you're fleshing it out, so we get 18 minutes of it now, we get 12 minutes of it next episode, another 10 minutes in the third episode, and we're done with flashbacks, I can live through that. If we do it for 7 episodes at about 18 to 20 minutes of a 30-minute thing, I will have a plus.
I'm fine with a 50-50 split
for the whole season.
Yes.
Not me.
As long as they make it balanced. As long as it echoes what's going on. It has to be balanced. And that was I kept saying about this one, is just they didn't really wrap up the current storyline as neatly as they did the flashback. To me.
Yeah.
They didn't wrap. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think it suffers from amazingly large pacing issue when you do flashbacks this much. It's your flashbacks. People tune in because they want to see, especially the more casual viewer and less the Star Wars fan, tune in because they want to see how Boba Fett becomes a crime lord. They don't want to necessarily see. Granted, you want to see like how he escaped the Sarlacc pit and stuff, but like I didn't need to see like the traveling through the desert, like 5 minutes of that, and like like they could have cut all the flashbacks in this down to like maybe 12 minutes.
They could have trimmed it down a little bit. You're right there. They've
given me more of the
extra time.
Oh, I have another question, by the way.
If it's about Tweakin's ear being messed up,
No, so the and we haven't. I don't know how we're going through this, but so
no, go ahead.
When the little child sand person, little Tusken, took the Rodian and him. This scene right here, when he went out to find the little water pods or whatever, and they come across the hut with the red right there, where the red whatever gang or whatever. There is water spewing out of something, just spewing. And when they leave,
it's a moisture farm.
Yeah, well, exactly. Why not go there and get that water?
I think they were stealing it. Wasn't that they were?
Yeah, they were stealing it.
They were stealing the water. I think that was the point. Wasn't it?
But Jenna's got a good point. Why don't you just steal it from the spout? You can steal more of it.
Why would the Tusken go there and get the water instead of digging in the dirt?
Well, basically,
there's water coming out of the ground. Go get it.
There's a difference. Remember the Obi-Wan book?
Don't steal?
No, no.
Yeah.
The Obi-Wan book, the gang that
the comic
was
book.
Robin.
Yeah.
The moisture.
Jabba.
Jabba the Hutt. So I was saying the same thing too about why were they digging for these egg things that had water in it, but they can get that. And there is something more symbolic to the Tusken Raiders' heritage with that instead of doing that, because they're more primitive than the natives of Tatooine. I know it's dumb, but
Star Wars. It's Star Wars. I don't care how native you are. I don't care how native you are. You see water coming up out of the ground and you're looking for water. Why are you digging in the sand? That's just
because it's not theirs. I get it. It's just more of like an idea of like we take care of ourselves. We're not going to take from another person.
Bring it up because it was
also
like,
too when you're
kick their asses the next episode.
When your mission party is led by a 10-year-old, you may not be making the best decisions.
Dude, that lady Raider kicked the shit out of Boba, though. I mean, real quick.
He's weak. What?
Well, he was sitting in. So I think that it's more than like he was in for 10 minutes. I think he was sitting in that acid bath. That's why his face gets all messed up. So
and he was in the sun.
We skipped over it because we were talking about other stuff, but nobody thought it weird that like the worm juice was like
right.
Like smelling salts or something.
The word is that like the new blue milk? No, but I think it's time lapsing too, because when I was listening to the audio version of it, there's parts where you hear like you don't catch it when you're watching the video, but there's like little audios of him breathing in the back of the tank. And it looks like at that point it skips a scene. So like even when the Rodan shows up, and then when they show him again tied up, you think because of the words that this is the scene right after he escaped and got killed. But like if you look at his jumpsuit, it's a lot different and a lot dirtier than it was before.
Oh, it's definitely a time lapse as it goes, but it's still a flashback around the same time. Like I mean,
yeah. But I think like that's part of it too. Like I think some of the damage is to him. So obviously if he's sitting in the tank, but then how does he do this? Like
with the Kraken? I don't know.
If Padme can do it, Boba Fett can do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
If Leia could do it, Boba Fett could do it.
Yeah, but Boba Fett was like getting eaten up by acid and couldn't even like
Leia doesn't count. That was Jabba the Hutt. He like can't move.
I loved how the kid came back into town like, look at that I fucking did. Like I got this.
Well, look, the creature that he killed, this creature was mentioned in the Aftermath novels.
The Behemoth?
The Behemoth is another name to it.
I just thought it was an old, was it Ray Harryhausen, the Clash of the Titans guy?
I know, Clash of the Titans. I thought too. See, I like that clay mission. I actually thought the beast was pretty cool too. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. It looked like the Kraken. Clash of the
How many
Titans.
damn monsters?
Astro different tribe. What's that?
How many monsters are on Tatooine? You got the
Krayt Dragons.
You got the
the Sarlacc isn't native. The Sarlacc isn't native to Tatooine.
Well, it is a planet.
They are Tusken Raiders, but
I thought the editing in that monster fight was bad too.
Really, I thought it was much better than the first fight scene.
I thought it was good. It was like Crash of the Titans.
I'm not gonna say it's better or worse. I'm saying there were breaks in the action. Like 1 minute, Boba Fett's got a hand coming up out of the dirt, and then the very next scene, the monster's standing up, and Boba Fett's looking like this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think
I
it's because
like
I actually set my expectations of that Rodriguez's stuff to be worse. So when he toned it down, like, you know what I mean? Like, go watch some of Rodriguez's stuff and then be like, oh, and then in your mind think about him doing these scenes like that, or go back and watch that episode with the stormtroopers where, I mean, just there's a lot. I thought it could have been a lot worse. So I guess I was happy that it wasn't. I mean, it could still get worse, I guess.
You know what? Overall, it was a great episode. I enjoyed it. You know, it was a little slow paced in the beginning. That's what people are saying. A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, even my gripes are minor. I still liked it. I mean,
so did I.
love this part though, handing the water, like the father just like, thank you for making my son a pimp, basically.
Which again is another one of those old tropes from old shows where it's like, you know, the tribal thing where they know that he knows that he does it. Yeah,
because like Marcus said, I was listening to the audio description and it just kept saying the child or the kid.
The child. It does.
Say, it never calls him like chieftain's son or anything like that.
Yeah, but the chieftain and the
He's
female warrior and the little boy all come out of the same tent at one point. So
you want to hear a crazy rumor?
Always love them from you, Dom.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
So apparently,
hold on.
Go back to that, Pete.
The woman that kicked Boba Fett's ass, she has something to do with the Armorer and Omega.
What?
That is a crazy rumor. You're right.
That's crazy shit I've ever heard.
Omega.
I thought you were going to say that it's really Darth Crate and they made Darth Crate a female.
No.
That's what everybody's waiting for.
Wait. Say that again?
They're saying that the Tusken warrior.
Who's they?
Who's they?
We're not going to use their name.
In Star Wars land.
Okay. All right.
That they put out there that the woman is connected to the Armorer that's connected to Omega. So
why?
They're saying that Omega could be the Armorer or the Tusken Raider warrior.
Why?
Omega got big.
Yeah, that don't make sense because
why? It's
yeah. That's one. Omega's not a Mandalorian.
Yeah,
she's not a Mandalorian, and
we don't know.
And the accent,
Mandalorian,
Australian accent. Okay,
we don't know her backstory yet.
We do know her backstory.
We don't know.
Has never been to Mandalore.
Where she went afterwards, after Bad Batch.
Well, why would she just suddenly become a religious Mandalorian follower, though? Just out of the blue.
Look,
I'd rather go with Darth Crate.
Oh, wait. She did. You know what she did? I can see. Okay, I get what they're saying because when she does the whole, I see what they're saying because they're talking about when she gave the first speech and they said that he bring him in because of the youngling thing and the defect. I don't believe this at all.
What?
No, that is. No.
I don't believe it at all.
How the hell does that relate to Tusken Raiders?
I don't know how that does. Nope, I can't link those. I can link a lot of stuff, but that's not one. No, I mean I've heard other stuff too. Though I've heard that the Tusken Raiders. I've also heard the Tusken Raiders were also the Darth Vader worshiping Tusken Raiders in Gillian's Run number 25, and I don't think that's true either. I mean, you know, it's rumors. So
they were just these people seemed very self-contained.
I think they wanted to really show them as like very tribal and make it the happy medium in between.
Yeah, I think
the ones you saw in The Mandalorian and the ones you saw in New Hope. So
I think they want us, the audience, to see Boba getting attached to them and them getting attached to Boba Fett.
Yeah,
and
humanize.
So I think that we might get. I hope we only get another episode and a half of flashbacks, and I think that's just to set up whatever happens.
Nah, I think it's
to that tribe. Because remember, he has the weapons. The Mandalorian. Remember, he has the weapon that I think the female sound person has.
Yeah.
And so,
JJ has a theory on that.
Do they give it to him? Thank you. You know, when you on your journey, or does?
Well, he has a gaffy stick, and gaffy sticks are common among the adult tribes of of this, so they could accept. I mean, this could be like a what's that Kevin Costner movie? Dancing with the Wolves or whatever.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, I think it's very much where it's going.
Oscar winning.
I do too.
Don't bring up Oscar winning. That was Goodfellas year. I don't give a shit
Guys, do not give my man Dom a hard time about his rumors. I want to hear the rumors. Dom feeds me all the rumors, okay? And that's going to be the end of that, right, Dom? Dom's my rumor man. So
love rumors. I love rumors.
Yeah,
man. That's
speaking of rumors. Far-fetched sometimes, but you know what? You never know.
Can you go back to
here he goes. Look what it started. Look what it started. Here we go. Yeah, it looks a lot like Darth Raven.
You see?
It's going in. Good.
We'll never see Revan. Under
Is it
Kennedy.
possible?
We will never
Hey,
see it.
Zaggy needs to write like an ad-lib book. Actually, this is Steve Horn's idea because he's got a Star Wars ad-lib book. He wants to come on and do it one time. I think we should. Or Mad Libs. Zaggy got to do one, and we got to fill the blank with what he's trying to get at some point. Because every time he's got like a paragraph or a sentence, it's the craziest stuff I've ever read. So
I hate timelines, but even that don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I almost put that as my favorite moment was timelines. Just to get under Jedi's skin for a second.
Yeah, we're good.
Because we did have like 4 episodes in a row where we did timelines.
You see, you get a big fan following for the rumors. So
okay, so I want to ask a couple questions though to the other folks. First off,
can we go back to that? Go back to those people because I want to talk about them for a minute. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so first off, who do we think these guys are? Because we only saw them for like 30 seconds.
Red Key Raiders.
Nope, I don't think so.
You think they're the original one from the book, like Dom said, where it was
maybe? I think they're guys that worked for. So my theory, and I already told Marco this. I said I'd save the rest for Sunday. So my theory of how this part of the flashbacks at least are going to play out is that these guys were working for Jabba as like a hit gang and probably working for Bib Fortuna after that. The conflict you're going to see is Boba working with the Tusken Raiders, who will have a conflict with this gang here, and eventually that's going to be the thing that'll I guess spark Boba Fett to take over the underworld on Tatooine.
No. It's after this gang kills the little kid.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some conflict there. I don't know what exactly who's going to kill.
So I am not too far off from JJ's theory on it, but I think that this is the Red Key Raiders, and because they already used stuff from Chuck's book, and that the mayor, who before the mayor used them, so did Jabba the Hutt. To do this little disruption in the outer area.
Well, this wouldn't be the mayor, though. This would be when Bib Fortuna is still around.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna is still around. I think there's still a link between the two with Bib Fortuna. And I think the mayor would think. I think the
Jennifer Lopez gang. Look, the J and L right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Bib Fortuna. But we know that these guys are around later after Bib Fortuna's dead, and I think that's the team up of Bib Fortuna in there.
We don't know if they're around later in this show.
So JJ,
well, they showed it in the previews. If they don't,
no, they didn't. They showed them in the trailer, but you don't know if it's a flashback.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You don't know if it's a flashback either. So to finish off the rumor, if I could, JJ, is that like, or whatever it is, the theory is that these guys have the play in, and those kids that we see on the bike gang. The mayor doesn't like them, so they get a little back and forth here. And this little gang is just trying to make it look like Most Espa is safe, and that the mayor's doing a great job. And if you go out into these Wastelands areas, these guys are going to under attack. It's technically him pulling the strings on the.
So this could
through Bib Fortuna or through whoever.
This just couldn't be Sam Crow Tatooine, like just the biker gang. Just
no, absolutely
branch.
They just got the
Tatooine original.
It's a club.
Yeah, which I don't think is much different, but I don't think they're gonna I don't think these guys are killing the Tusken Raiders. I just don't.
One reason why I go with the Jabba theory is because, and I confirmed it when I watched the audio description. It calls them
which
this.
I agree with
they are Nikto, as a race,
yes.
and the Nikto were enslaved / worked for Jabba's. As
they were the ones like Dom brought up in the Water Wars. They were the ones that worked for him. Yeah,
and they're also the ones that had the child too. That had Grogu.
But they're also the ones that what's his name blew up in.
Well, there's more than one Nikto.
I know that, but Nikto, but they look very similar to the guys that. Why am I forgetting what Oliphane's name is?
Red Key Raiders.
Huh?
The Red Key Raiders.
No, what he played in Mandalorian.
Oh, the Marshal.
The Marshal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He blew them up. Do you remember when he went down and blew up guys on the same bike, same species, and looked like exact same thing? And they were Key Raiders, so I figured that's not such a
Maybe right. I tried to make out what the symbol was on their jacket, but I can't tell if it's the same symbol they were painting or if it's like it looks like something different. But
it does look like something.
I tried to blow it up, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
come out very well.
But this is very reminiscent of that. Yep. Go ahead.
How many? Well, I guess the panel, whatever, think that he will suffer a loss, like with the Sand People, that they will, be killed off, and that will propel him, like kind of like what Pete said. Like, how many?
It's kind of telegraphed. I mean, it's kind of obvious what
right
gonna happen
because they got to make him a good guy. I mean, because to me, that's what. I mean, it's like they could like bringing him full circle. Baddest dude, started a bad guy. Now Disney, if you will.
He wasn't a bad guy.
I don't know that he was fully a bad guy, but you got to have some sort of motivation for him to want to assassinate Bib Fortuna and become a crime lord. Because up until now, we don't have that motivation.
That's usually.
I'm sorry, you don't become a crime lord because you're really a great person.
But
he was a bounty hunter getting
it's
paid
a
for
crime lord.
Right.
So, John, what I'm saying is like the mayor's the clean version of the scheme, and Bib Fortuna was the dirty version, and they were kind of like like the face and the hand.
And Major Domo or whatever his name was, let's not forget, he could be a total front guy.
Major Domo. Yeah,
Major Domo. He could be a front man as the mayor.
Oh, you think he could be the
Domo
mayor?
was the Twilight guy.
Major Domo is the mayor. That Mock Schick is
the mayor is what the hell's his name? The Major Domo is the role of the Twilight guy.
The Twilight
guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we got it the other way around. I think Mock Schick or whatever was the Twilight guy, and Major Domo was the.
No. The mayor is the Mock Schick guy.
That's his title. He says Major Domo actually. So I guess that's his title for working for. I think for working for the mayor.
He says, "I'm not the mayor."
That's how I took it. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
And a Major Domo is somebody who would work for. I mean, it would be like the.
I'll have to watch that.
I'm like your consigliere. I'm your
it'd be like the guy that gives out. Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. So I mean, I think
I'm with you, Darth. Give me a little bit. We're on the same page.
No, I mean, I think next week we're going to have a lot more. It's going to hopefully it gets to that part quickly. If they put in a filler, like I said, like the one part about.
Here, I'm going to take this off. So
the one part that I think a lot of us disliked with the cartoon was like they started off. Jedi brought this up, and it was one of the most brilliant things I heard, and it makes a lot of sense. They once again, yes, Jedi, I'll give it to you. They started off the cartoon with Omega in it, and it was like the first episode was so great and so hot, and then like we had all these dead points or all these like episodes that you're like, man, this is not like it's not even story building; it's just there. And I think with this progressive nature, they are. As a whole, still trying to figure out. Now, they might be years beyond everybody else in the streaming platform for creating new content and making it work. But do remember, they're also not laying everything down and letting you binge it. So it's very hard to do these weekly drops, keep everybody contained through all the weeks, and figure out the right pacing for a show. And I think that's really what they're trying to do with this, where when we watch Bad Batch, that wasn't it. There was some gaps where it was like, you just wasted a week.
It was bad. It was like, all of it was like filler. It was like
not all of it. No, there was some great stuff in it. But
I could
Cad Bane.
Well,
I mean, the final season of Clone Wars is a good example.
No, that was excellent. I like that from beginning to. I mean, there was one episode,
but the Marshes, the sisters. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like that much, but the last part with Darth Maul,
They're all right.
that
Oh,
was
that's
fantastic.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they're trying to figure out the pacing, and I hope this is an even pace. So like when we're like, hey, we want the binge or we want it all in the beginning. We got it all in the beginning. I'm telling you that I don't think anybody, and this is what Jedi, this isn't me who said this. This is Jedi who said it. I thought on it, and I had to agree 100%. Are you going to say you did not? Now you're going to try to throw me under the bus. Why is the chat saying something?
I'm waiting for the counterpunch on this one. I'm just waiting.
No, 100%. I'm giving you the praise, Jedi. Like he said it, and I thought about it, and I was like, he's right. When people say there's a pacing problem, I don't think there is a pacing problem. I think they're fixing the pacing problem they've had before. And
Yeah,
they've had it
By doing more flashbacks, that's fixing it.
Well, you got to know his backstory. What happened?
right. That's
but I mean,
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
JJ hates flashbacks.
I actually do. I don't like
they learned from their
flashbacks as a
mistake.
storytelling method.
Yes, I get that.
We
I
don't
understand
wanna
that.
know why he came out, how he came out of the Sarlacc pit, what happened between then and the Mandalorian. we don't need a whole season of that.
Yeah, I
That's what I'm
agree.
afraid it's
But
gonna
we
be.
didn't.
I'm afraid it's gonna be a
No,
whole
I think you
season.
guys are projecting worry though. Like you guys, we haven't even seen episode 2, and like I started off, if they do that all season long, this is gonna. I'm gonna call.
But again,
I'll
there's
call them
roughly-
out for it. But right now, we do need. Remember,
looks
it's not
like-
just
but-
for us; it's for everybody. You have to get the
It's just
general
one
public.
episode.
It
it's
is
only
just one episode, but I think
how many-
they've already built it in place. Like, hey, he goes in the back to tank. Guess what we're getting? Flashback
But you see, I
time.
don't think he's going to back the tank that much after this. I think.
Did you ever play Assassin's Creed?
He's going to
Oh, yeah.
hook up. He's going to get better.
Jesus.
You know what I'm getting at, though? With Assassin's Creed?
Yes.
Every time you go
Anyways.
in the machine, you got to go to the
Yes.
past.
Yes,
and
the past.
You know, every
Yeah,
time
but
you were
who the
out,
hell comes out of the
that's what we're going to
machine?
see all
The
season.
worst part of the game is coming out of the goddamn.
Look,
Exactly. This is going to be the flip opposite.
Wait, time out. No, I want to hear Dom now because Dom originally, if you remember 2 weeks ago, Dom said it's going to be great and it's all going to be flashbacks. And now Dom's changing too, going like, yo, don't give me all flashbacks.
I'm not changing. No, I'm not changing. The fact is that flashbacks are a big part of the story because they want to tell you the story how he progressed and how he survived and how he wound up with the Mandalorian was, and the way he was dressed and how he got his armor back. Yeah, that's great, but I understand the fans out there are very, they don't like that. They want just total action, but to build the character, you have to give him depth. They complained in Clone Wars when he was a child, but then they liked his character later on.
I hear Dom. I do hear what you're saying, but at the same time, don't give me depth by giving me a cliche because, like I said, I've already given you what this goddamn flashback storyline is. They're gonna show him befriend the chieftain. He becomes like a friendly uncle to this kid who dies, and that's why he becomes empowered to go move on.
I get it. Did somebody the other day, and God bless them, told me, like, you know what I didn't like about it? Boba Fett didn't have his helmet on long enough because Boba Fett, for all the years ever, he's always had his helmet on and he never says any words. And I'm like, he was in the movies for 2 minutes and 31 seconds, and he talked the whole cartoon, by the way, mind you. It's like
but
all the time during the cartoon. So like I mean, not, and I'm not even talking. I'm talking about the Christmas special cartoon. Boba Fett was talking. Boba Fett wouldn't shut his mouth. He's talked more than I did. So like, he wasn't shutting his mouth.
I don't know if that's
so, like,
possible.
Close.
The thing is, this also is
look
at the episodes coming up. To me, it feels like we're gonna get him taking over the city, like putting the mayor in check, and that's gonna be it. We're gonna get the backstory and then that, and it's like, okay, how many seasons are we really gonna get of this show?
One, because they're gonna take over Mandalore after that.
Look, can I give you my rumor?
Mandalore?
Oh, another rumor, yes.
Listen, he's gonna wind up in episode of season 3 of Mando. We know that he's gonna show up in that. But I think season 2.
We know that. I don't think we know that.
We know that. How? I know we know that.
All right.
Well, look,
He's got faith. Let him have faith. Let him have faith. You don't question faith. That's a faith thing, not a rumor thing. I get it.
Showing him as a child holding Django's helmet is a metaphor for what's to come. And I think by the season's end, he's going to find out that Mace Windu is alive. In second season, Mace Windu.
Oh,
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
He'd be holding hands then if that was the case.
Okay, so
but what's it
can
a
I say
metaphor
one
for
thing?
that?
Can I just say one thing
Hey,
real
can
quickly?
we make
to
a rule?
clarify?
Dom's only allowed one rumor per show.
Two. He's allowed two. No, he's allowed one rumor and one act of faith. He's allowed one rumor and one act of faith.
One rumor, one timeline, and
one
one
rumor, one act of faith. That's it. Okay. So
That's-
here it is.
no.
When they were coming out with Book of Fett, I think people forget this, but when they were talking about what the future plan was for both Mandalorian and Book of Fett, they said that both are going to intersect and lead to a greater point, right? Like that's what the whole it's going to collide together. The Mandalorian and Boba's thing in something. Is that going to be them trying to revive the Mandalorians? Probably. That's probably the easiest way to do that. So with this being said, it's just giving the backstory. It's going to be a one-off. He's going to fight the mayor, who's going to be the major boss. People are going to be annoyed that he's not punching Cad Bane in the face after getting shot again in the helmet somehow. And we're going to have that conversation for about 2 years on how they ruined it. And people weren't crying because Luke Skywalker didn't show up. And that's going to happen.
Okay, that's it. But that's it. Let's go.
So I just got a question. So if you think that he's going to be making the Mandalorian skin, then are they using this to set up down the road of, because he's always been, hey, I'm just about me. I don't give a shit about anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Is this to get him to now give a shit about people?
Yeah, that's a kid thing. Yeah, that's like
I
that's
think the kid
literally
thing will make him care about people.
This is literally the Japanese. This is literally the Japanese model for this. They've done this in movies 1,000 times. Yes,
I believe you. I was just making
100%.
But they Disney-fied him. That's what they're doing. They're making him Disney. They're going to make him a good guy so he can team up with the Mandalorian, and they could. I mean, with the Mandalorian, and they could free Mandalore.
When I just go, they're going to do the whole Kurosawa blind thing with them, and then you go Disney. I guess if Disney's doing a lot of Kurosawa stuff, then that's what they're going to do with them. But like,
anti-hero. Hopefully,
JJ, I know you don't want it. I know you don't want it. They also
Disney doesn't rip off Kurosawa. Disney does more fables. Is what they do.
Yeah. But hey, but listen to this. They're gonna kill him eventually, bro. So everybody get ready for when that happens and people really start crying because Disney loves to kill off people.
They already did their 7 Samurai and their
they've done it 3 times. They're gonna do it 3 more. It's a hit.
Well, if
I don't think the characters. But wait. I don't think the characters from this show will be involved in that much going forward. And he's 61 years old for one. You can't have 10 more years.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna kill him too. By the way, you do know how this die. You know how this story does end, right? Like I'm trying not to give it away, but if you follow that, the thing I was talking about earlier with the feudal lords and all that stuff, like you do know where the story arc goes, right? You know what happens to the guy who tries to change and tries to do stuff a different way and be the better version of him. You know what happens to him, right?
Shane.
Yeah, Shane. That's exactly what. Also taking off the same fucking storyline. Yes, 100%.
Well, with my luck, he'll be on my fantasy team when it happens.
No, it's not going to happen this episode. I don't think they have the balls to do the Shane. I don't think they have the balls to Shane on this episode. I really don't. Can we refer to it? Everybody knows what we're talking about when we say Shane, right?
You mean this season or this episode?
This season.
Oh no. This would be like
if they Shane him. We know what Shaning is, right? We're all caught up on American literature.
You've seen Logan.
Well, not literature. It's classic film history, I guess.
Well, it was a book. The
more famous is a film.
I think of it more
was based off the movie was based off the book. But yeah,
can I real quick?
Go ahead.
I think we are going to get a mafia style with it because remember they're sitting at the table, so like
exactly
right. So I think that still has to play out. Like I mean,
absolutely.
I thought it was. I'm gonna say what you guys said last Sunday. Meh. But it could get better. But that's better than it sucking, right? That's
I didn't say meh.
Bad. But I think that whole political gangster aspect has to play out because some of them might want the power, like the mayor, right? Or the mayor basically tells them, "No, dude, you gotta pay me tribute." Basically, telling Boba, "I'm running Tatooine or whatever, right? Or what job I had." So I think it's gonna be hopefully, they use that well, but it being Rodriguez. I hesitate on that. I worry about that.
I think that's where it'll go.
You could execute that.
You think we'll go where?
That's why the
I think he's right.
Out. I mean, but we'll see.
What's that? I'm sorry.
You're going to see the 5 families sit down, like Lopez is talking about, and you're going to see.
Yep, agree.
The what's going to happen is Boba Fett's out to ally them all against the mayor.
Do you remember the
storyline?
Remember the
Fennec's
movie
not
that
going to go Sean Penn and Carlito's way on him, right?
They're not. They're doing Bruce Willis and what's that one where he's in the town and it's the two gangster.
Holy Christ!
So you're thinking of that, but that's actually a remake. That's
a horror.
Right.
Last Man
That's
Standing.
what I'm saying.
But that's actually a remake of
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Fistful of Dollars, which is the remake of a Kurosawa movie.
Right.
Yes.
Have you not listened to me for the last 40 minutes?
I know.
But
that's totally different. That's taking 2 factions and playing them against each other. That's not what this storyline is. This is more like the 5 families from The Godfather.
No, but eventually
team up against
it was because he wanted to do something good, and eventually he ends up it comes back to bite him in the butt because he is putting those 2 factions together, the Godfather table faction against the mayor faction. And eventually it comes back and Fennec kills him in Shane. Okay, end of story. Spoiler alert.
But he doesn't even have.
Yes, Yojimbo. That was the title. I could not think of.
Yojimbo. Yeah. Yojimbo.
It's just him and Fennec. He doesn't have anybody.
Carlito.
See, that's where I think he's going to call.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he might call. Dinjarin.
Don't want to go home.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean. He might. I don't think it's going to get that far into it. I think it's going to be. We're going to see the deception. I think you're right that the prostitute lady from Flashdance is going to.
1 degree, James.
100%.
Just 1 degree.
The question is, do you think Fennec is going to backstab him?
No, I was just laughing because somebody here said that. I think it was you, JJ, wasn't it?
I think Phoenix can backstab him.
Yeah.
Why not?
There it is. Yojimbo.
She doesn't seem real keen on a lot of his ideas.
Yeah, and she's looking at him funny. It's like she's telling him, you gotta.
Somebody's got to backstab him for us to get the
she
shit.
always looked at him funny. She always had that side eye. In Mando, when he said he was going to help.
Well, realistically, what allegiance does she have to him?
She saved him. He saved her.
He saved her.
Yeah, he saved her.
Or whatever.
Okay, we're talking about people who have no real moral code.
I don't know. No. So this is the part. Okay, you ready to get into the Legend of Boba Fett that's still canon? He had Zayne Weasley before that, and then what's wrong, Jedi? Are we running it for you?
Wait,
and before that, he had Sing. He had didn't he have Sing before that too? That kind of mentored him, but he's always had a female that's next to him. Eventually, they die, but who's kind of been devoted towards him. So, no, I don't see this as a problem with him. Why? I mean, for her, it's great. She doesn't have to eat anymore. She doesn't have to go to the bathroom anymore. She doesn't. Have,
she was drinking.
She's part cyborg
on the throne when he took over the throne.
Yeah, because she can look cool.
But maybe that's why she's still there, is because it's good for her now, but maybe it becomes not so good for her later.
Well, look, something
there's 7 episodes.
There's going to be a big twist in this, guarantee, and hopefully the twist is good.
I don't think they're gonna off Boba. I just don't see it.
Why
go through all the trouble to bring him back, to Disneyfy him, to just kill him off?
Now they're not gonna kill him off.
Continue
because he's 80 years old.
Why can't he just I just don't see them doing that. That's like it. I mean, what motivation? I mean, what?
Yeah, like Luke Skywalker or Han Solo.
It's not just about. It's not necessarily about killing him off, though. It's about giving him
Darth Maul. Go ahead.
Can I just defend Luke Skywalker? I mean, that's Kennedy. Okay, I'm not going to say Kennedy. That's that's Star Wars not doing what it's supposed to do. I feel like they were forced to bring Luke back to get us all pumped up because the sequels are, to me, absolutely garbage. So they keep going back to the old school, going back to the well to get us all excited about Star Wars because they've botched it going forward, right? 7, 8, and 9. So, I feel like they had to bring back Luke. They had, because where were we at that point in Star Wars after Episode 9? We were all on the low. All we had is the Mandalorian, right? And so they even doubled down by bringing Luke, and now we're all excited. Now we're all, we were back then because we haven't had much. Right, so that's why I think they brought back Luke. They just, to get us all excited again. I just, Marco, gets under my skin every time he bashes Luke.
I don't bash Luke.
You downplay it. You kind of.
I say that there was the best scene ever. I see it from a different point of view, but that's what Star Wars is about: seeing stuff from a different point of view.
John DeMonico in the chat has a good point.
What's that?
Yeah, killing him off created the legend.
Well, that's what I was going to kind of pick up. That's going to kind of pick up on a little bit. Think about this.
Okay. Last thing, then we're going to fantasy.
Wolverine before or after they gave you his origin story? Is Wolverine the same to you as he was before Origins? Where you found out he was a little boy with the little redheaded girl and the houseman who was sleeping and the whole James Howlett. Do you prefer Wolverine before you got that origin or after? Because I feel the unknown is what makes a lot of these characters so popular, like Boba Fett, is we didn't know. So I think
that's where you get the
backlash.
Plus the guy's in physical.
But this is the opposite of that, right? We know his.
All right, we can continue it out. We'll go back to it a little bit. Jedi's got to get to dinner, so he needs to give us our fantasy update. So Jedi, please, with the fantasy updates, let's start yelling about how you did it wrong. Okay.
Can I join the draft? It's too late.
Let's start yelling about it.
Eric, where you at? All right.
So just to give you an update where we're at.
Yeah, Pete's going to do the presentation. He's got the slides and the graphics.
Well, you can give the scores. We were going to say in 5th place.
Well, no. Okay, so 5th place is I don't even my team with 1 point.
Who did you have?
Going off of your rankings. This is all based off of the things you gave me.
The only point I had was for the Twi'lek mayor's aide person, whose name
And you have them. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he didn't really have a name.
appeared.
I called him
Yeah.
Major Domo.
I think next week we should show who we pick too. Might help.
I
Good
have
job.
that after this
Oh, okay, cool.
because we're gonna have to do ad drops.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh shoot. Okay. Yep.
Lords of Mandalore had 1 point because of Jennifer Beal appearance, the Twilight bar owner.
I thought they did a great job with her character too. I really liked what they did with these characters. Go ahead.
Yeah, but just to clarify, and I know Jedi was worried because he's in 5th place, but I told him, like, you pick last, so you guys tying, Jedi gets priority
Nice pick.
first.
Fine.
Waiver pick.
Yeah, I think that's anybody gonna argue that? No. Good.
No,
That's the way it normally works.
Yep.
Rule of 2 got 2 points, and this was one that was this is one I had to go back and watch, and I had to factor in how I kind of ruled on some other points. So he got 2 points for the Red Key Gang showing up, as well as I gave them a kill for the Moisture Farmer.
I don't know if they killed him, but
You
that's
gotta
fine. Your commission.
description.
Whacked him really good at that.
That was the one I had to go back, and I said, well, if I'm going to judge a kill for some other people based on what I've seen, based on what I saw, I don't want to cheat them out of a point on the Moisture Farmer. So a lot of these were judgment calls. I will, a lot of these were judgment calls, and that's why I'm going to get beat up here in a bit. Number 2 is Marco's team got 3 points for Fennec showing up. She obviously pushed the one whatever they're called off the building, and we heard sort of a splat. So he's dead. And then this is where I had to go back and really watch that fight scene over and practically frame by frame. And at the end, as Fennec was leaving, there were 3 laying on the ground. Obviously, one was a pretty clear kill by the Gamorrean guard. The other 2 were not so clear, but from watching the fight and some of the moves, Fennec had a kill. She did something where she flipped the guy over, and then basically the guy looked like he was probably dead after she was done with him. So I gave a kill for that.
Fair enough.
The other kill, the third kill, I could not determine who it was. It could have been any one of the 4, actually, the 2 guards, or
there was no third kill.
Boba. I saw 3 laying on the ground.
No, it was the editing thing where because if you listen to the audio, they make a mention that he killed them, but then if you look at the video, the guy gets up and runs away, but he should be dead.
No, should be, could have, would have, should have. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're 2nd place.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about for
First
Boba.
place.
I'm actually arguing for a point for you.
So
well, then we want all the points.
So the Knights of Rinna got 4. Obviously, the Sarlacc, I am ruling that as a kill. And then he blew the one guy up during the fight. He got a point for appearance as well. And then killing the sand monster at the end is his 4th point. So that's how I ruled it.
I think it's a good ruling. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. I do, after listening to the audio version of it, I would subtract 1 from JJ's team because they referenced that the guy is not dead, and that they referenced that the other guy that Boba Fett killed is dead. There's the guy that ran away. They actually referenced that it was dead in that one. That's the only dispute. But
I like your arguments then. I thought you were going to be confused.
Oh, now you like my argument. 2 minutes ago, my argument was terrible. Now all of a sudden, Jedi. So that you don't have to. That's a little trick. Maybe it might help. Maybe it won't. But like next time, so you don't have to look at the same thing 20 times, because you're right. Though, like, it's stupid. Like, he kills the guy, and then a scene later, the guy gets up and runs away, and then there's a scene later where there's a dead body that somebody walks over, which is the guy that he was supposed to have killed that ran away.
Continuity error in editing.
Oh, I know, but it was.
I think you guys know already. There are some websites out there that do kill counts. But even they, there's several of them, and even they couldn't agree on all the kills. So you can file your what's the word? Your your
Grievance.
complaint
Grievance.
with the your grievance with the fantasy league front office, and
What's
we'll,
the address
we'll
of
see
that
what
again?
Yeah.
Take this up with our players union.
Johnson 22.
JT is so bad. I'm like trying to subtract points from it. It doesn't even affect my team at all. But yeah, cool.
So this is where this is actually what I'm kind of using to track it. I didn't put that in there.
I did.
So we're going to track it as the games go on, and then over the right side of the screen, my right, is the standings. So now we get to there's going to be 3 parts of this episode or this segment. We just finished the first one. The next one's going to be the waiver wire portion. So I've talked to my team member. I've talked to my teammate Sam, the Wookiee, and we are. Remember?
Hold on. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
because I got to bring up the rosters. Because before you can pick, I have to do the obligatory drop. So.
Yep. That's true. So
sorry, JR and Darth, we have to go through.
For everybody that doesn't know, you have to drop Boba Fett if you had him the week before.
You have to drop Boba Fett every week.
It's a requirement.
Just waiting for it to come up here. And all right. Got that.
JJ, you fought for the water guy?
No.
What about the water guy?
I'm comfortable with whatever the commish decides.
Yeah, exactly. I lean on the commish.
Okay, so after talking, so you have to drop Boba Fett.
Yes. Let me. I don't want to make it that small on myself here. So I will take Boba Fett off the board.
Ooh.
Okay.
I also ranked us. We are in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place based off of Jedi's scoring.
So I'm in 1st place, yes?
No.
Yeah, of
in
course
your
I
head,
am.
yes, you are. You're in 1st.
You are in 2nd.
As long as I'm in
you
1st.
are the deuce.
So I talked to my teammate Sam, the Wookiee, and we are going to pick up Boba Fett. We're going to claim him off the waiver wire, and the player that we are going to drop is going to be, and I know there's some confusion, maybe even still with the who's who, but we are dropping the Hammerhead Mayor character.
Well, I gave you just whatever the mock shy, whatever the
because I got voted down on that.
You said the mayor, so we gave you the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can see I pulled the Hammerhead off the board completely because who knows? This the mayor may not be a Hammerhead character.
Okay, so yeah, we're dropping the mayor. We're keeping the Twi'lek, and we're adding Boba Fett.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. That's real interesting.
Ooh.
I'm probably going to regret that, to be honest. But
there is
a lot of points in episode 2, though.
Now.
So next on the waiver wire is Dom Tober.
The Lords of
Are there any
Mandalore.
moves you want to make, Dom?
Okay, so me and Ruben talked. We're gonna drop Cressa Frep, the Twi'lek.
Really?
Yep. We're gonna drop her.
Oh, because she's gonna get killed. Smart move.
And we're gonna take the Tusken Raiders.
I don't have a group of Tusken Raiders. I actually have separated characters. I have you a chieftain, and I have you a little boy Tusken Raider.
Good.
Okay, so I'm just going to interject here and just remind Dom. I'm not going to. His pick is fine. I am going to remind him. Tusken Raiders are what I'm going to consider a generic character, along with the Red Rider guys. You only get 1 point for a appearance of any of them. But when they die, you lose a point for every one. It is a risky pick. So.
Well, the chieftain. I'll take.
Unless you take like a specific, because I do have 2 specifics.
You can take a specific one, sure. Yep.
I have the chieftain and I have the young Tusken Raider.
Do you want a second? Because you and Ruben can have a second if you want to figure it out.
Yeah, if you want. I don't know if Ruben's still in the chat, but if you want to have this,
he's up. Hold on.
He is. He's in the chat.
Yes.
But I did add the Tusken Raider kid.
That's great.
And I added the Tusken chieftain to the board.
Yeah. That little kid better not die.
The chick could kill some. I bet you the chick.
know that little kid's dying.
He better not, dude.
Yeah, the chick would be a good pick. I don't know what her name is.
Ruben in the chat says do the chief.
Gonna disappear.
The chief. Take the chief.
Okay.
You taking the chief?
Yep.
That's the one that's.
That's a solid pick, I think.
until he dies, and then Boba sidles
until they
up
stop
to
the flashbacks.
The lady, lady
Tusken. Flashback. No, that's perfect because he can get the points, and if he gets the flashback, then he can sub Boba in, and then he gets Boba,
and he becomes stepdad Boba.
Okay, so
all right.
Next
rule of two.
Rule of two.
Yep. So for a quick clarification, I just want to say, each in a group, each death counts as a negative point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
But only 1 point for an appearance.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if we made that clear before, but
hold fast. I figured you kind of would.
Oh,
hold fast.
I figured you had to with this crew. You had to hold fast. So
I don't know. I was hoping that you would have made a move. I was hoping you would have made a move so I could have made a move. But now Eric is okay with. We've got 4 options, and so if I get another point if Fennec shows up to the next episode, right? Is that how the scoring works? So I'll get a point for her again.
You get a point for every episode she's in.
Yeah, but you don't want her anymore.
Yeah. Drop her and.
Yeah, right.
Then,
the reason why I still got her is I was the one that said that we should drop her, and you guys voted against it. So I'm just getting one. I'm clarifying one thing. We might be making a move here. We might be making a move. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff here. Anyone think the mayor may be someone we know?
No, don't say it.
Don't. Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, he could be a figurehead for.
Don't say it.
Something
else. Russian.
It's Kira. It's Kira.
There, you had to say it, didn't you?
Don't say it.
I said, don't say it, and then you said it.
Yeah.
It's Omega.
Omega.
Okay, let me clarify with the mayor too. If we say the mayor, and we mean that the mayor is the Hammerhead character that we saw in the commercial, and it turns out, how does that work? If
This is how I figured it. Like when Jedi drafted, he said the mayor. At the time, he was assuming he was a Hammerhead character, but I think he gets it. It's the mayor. If the mayor ends up being the Hammerhead character, he still gets it. So you will be shit out of luck if it's one of the Hammerheads, if that ends up being the mayor character.
Ooh.
Say that again?
Wait, what?
We went back. Like Justin and I were talking about it of whether did Jedi draft the mayor or did he draft one of the Hammerhead characters? The Hammerhead character from the trailer, and then Justin said he drafted the mayor. So in my head, that means you get the mayor. If the mayor ends up being a Hammerhead character, because you drafted the mayor, you get that point. So if you try to secondarily draft a Hammerhead character, one of the two, and it ends up being the same as that mayor character, you're going to defer. The mayor is going to overrule your secondary pick.
I see what you're saying.
I'm going to try and guess what maybe Marco's leading to. So if you can draft the mayor right now, because we really don't know 100% who the mayor is.
Bosk.
So if you want to draft the mayor.
Screw you. We've got Bosk.
If you want to draft the mayor, you can draft the mayor. And then when the mayor shows up, whoever it is, that will solidify, that will actually put a face to the character, I guess. And that's your character. Does that make sense?
All right. We're just going to take a gamble. We're going to get rid of the male rider, and we're going to go with the Gamorrean guard.
Dead in episode 2.
They might. We only need him for one more episode. That's all we need is one episode. If they kill somebody else, then it's one episode, one kill. It's even. Dead.
I mean,
once we made it this far, I was like, all right. I was pretty confident me and Justin were going to come out of here with our Gamorrean guards and just be happy with our roster. But let me just go over. I'm going back over our chat just to make sure in case.
So we asked this very question that has got like 13 different ways on how we can figure it out, and then refuse to go any route that we just asked. Let that play out. So just so you know, that's where we're at this stage. Asking about what the mayor and the Hammerhead clarification, and so we find out week 3 the mayor was in episode 1. Do we revert back to and get a point?
Going over our chat and what we kind of discussed, I am going to go with. And just since we had it, this was Marco's pickup. Sorry.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, you would not get a point because he wasn't on your roster during week 1.
He was on. No,
he's
he's
right.
on your roster. You'd get the point. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no,
So for
I mean,
week
it
two,
depends on who he was, right? Yeah.
So for week two, we're replacing Boba Fett with, and I'm telling you, he's still gonna die, but he ain't gonna die yet. You're taking the kid.
No.
Gambling. Me and Peter are just gambling. At
He ain't gonna die yet. He ain't dying episode 2. We
Surprised
will,
nobody-
Justin. We will get rid of him before the end. But
Oh, was female enforcer raider not a choice?
Yeah,
I didn't make her. I didn't make her a separate. I thought about it, but I
Yeah,
couldn't
that would
find
have
a
been a
good.
good pick.
Because I was
But nobody
thinking
picked her
about
anyway.
I thought that she would be
So,
the armor.
The armor was still out there, but you could have done it, but you
This
didn't.
is why I
Well,
don't even read the directions.
let me say,
because
the
I'm
waiver
confused.
wire is not done yet. I mean, if everybody is good with the waiver wire can go another round. I don't want.
Yeah, we can
anybody
go back.
else.
Jedi, you
But
want anybody?
does
Anybody
the,
want
does
anybody
the
else?
rule of 2 want anybody? Or I'm sorry, does Lords of Mandalore want anybody?
No, we're
You
good
can
right
make
now.
a switch now, like another
You're
switch.
good. Okay. Rule of 2, you're good.
Solid.
Force Ghost.
Championship.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, because you can't drop Dengar now.
Got it. Knights of Verena, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I still think.
Okay.
We're all
So
right.
the next thing is just, this should be very simple. Does anybody want to place a bet on a death next week? It has to be a character in play. It can't just be any character that's not in play.
So it has to be on somebody's roster?
Exactly.
Like
yes.
right now? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, somebody, yeah, I thought about a character that you guys were pointing at, but
What happens if we get it
not on the
wrong?
roster right now.
If you get it wrong, I think you lose 15 points, which would put you in the hole.
Whoa.
If you get it right, I think it's 10 points.
Oh, wait.
I'll check that up. I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me.
I'm passing. I don't know.
I'm gonna call an audible. Can I call an audible? Are we too late to do an audible ad drop pickup?
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna get rid of. Sorry, Justin. I'm calling an audible on our team. We're gonna get rid of Cobb. We're gonna gamble on the Twilight.
She's back. She's back.
I don't think she's gonna die yet.
Garza Whip, by the name, by the way. Is that
Yeah, I did switch it for the little slide that you don't see. I did switch it. You probably can't see it very well.
Look, there's a lot
Can you
more
ask
movement
the
than I
audience
thought.
member? I say
What's
nobody
that?
Garza
dies.
Flip.
Nobody dies.
What's that?
I say nobody dies.
Yeah, place the bet on nobody dies.
Nobody dies?
Yeah, I'm not gambling on a death, but yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
That's,
swapping out
that's a
Cobb, man.
steep gamble in this stage in the game.
Half the show will
You're
be
getting
flashbacks.
multiple
Half
good
the show
calls
will
and
be
great moves
flashbacks.
on that, Pete. Dude, I'll laugh at the kids' heads rolling in the ground.
I don't think. I think they're both probably going to die before the series is
I
out.
wanna know-
That's great.
I wanna know what
You can
happens.
Keep them as long as possible.
What happens to Marco's team if Fennec Shan turns on him and kills the 2 Gamorrean guards? Does that like cancel each other out?
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that's kind of like, if you've got
Like
like,
a
the
0
defense.
points.
Hey, you guys don't see the strategy here. We actually have a strategy with what we're trying to do here. Maybe get a couple 0 points, then pick
got
up
no
a Boba Fett.
strategy.
Yeah, we do. We got tons of strategy.
You just figure you're going to just yell and try to intimidate
Just
Jedi
wait
to
for the
score
moment.
points for you.
I actually argued for
I'm
you
gonna
to
yell
get a
at Jedi.
point. Time out. I argued. I'm glad he didn't listen because I was actually arguing for Pete to get one more point than he got, and Pete's like, "Yo."
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Anyways, all right, good. Thank you, and thank you for putting in the time, Jedi. We appreciate it.
All right, good. I'm glad Justin's on board with the move because we didn't
Jedi
discuss
from
it ahead of
Russell
time. We had one move discussed, but
we had multiples. All right, good stuff. That's what it looks like.
so
Okay,
no one's gambling. Okay, great.
Nope.
no. I don't want to
Not
gamble
this early. That's a steep gamble.
All right.
Yeah, 15 points is a
When
lot.
I'm really far behind a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, when you got to start throwing those Hail Marys out there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I might take
I
one
might
next
have the points. I might have the 10 and the 15 reverse. I honestly don't remember. My head's crazy. I'll check and I'll know. I'll check on it though.
Yeah, well, we can go back to the actual.
It's a big
scoring.
gamble regardless.
Yep.
Maybe.
But still, all right. That was fun. That was fun. Well, we can put that out in IG. The new rosters for week 2.
JR's like, thank God that's over.
No, I'm just getting tired in general.
Right.
Well,
It's a weird thing that we do, but
3
it's
hours
fun.
and 12 minutes into this.
Well, I guess at one point,
Well-
considering droids was like everybody's favorite memory, which I was like, "Yo,
Droids.
droids.
the droid. Remember the droid battle? I thought it was fun, but there was a point in droid battles when I was like, "Holy crap, nobody's watching this."
Hey,
But
well,
like,
I won, so it's a fond memory for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I thought
fun. It was a lot of work though too. Trying to,
It was a ton of work. It was so much work.
Yeah, it was. That was hard.
I enjoyed it, and I had to basically invented this alter ego for C-3PO. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, it was also a little bit of work.
Oh yeah, you guys had a lot of work putting all those slides together. Is that what you did?
Hey, that's what you got your compliment for being. All right, so I really do want to shout out Jen. You know, she tried the last minute. We got to cancel.
I know. I miss Jen.
So I feel bad for her, but maybe we'll try to do something with that. Sam is out there, and Sam hopefully will be joining us next week.
Yep.
JR, you're more than welcome to come back at any time. Obviously, you can be part of the crew. You know what I mean. Lopez, glad you came out this year. It's about time you got off my cell phone and just got onto the stream. Dom, Jedi, you know I appreciate you guys. JJ, we got to do something ahead of time where we don't come up with the same stuff anymore. All right. You know what I mean? Like, this is not fun. I'm just kidding. Everything that you do. And Pete, really do appreciate it. Oh, Sticks. Yeah, sorry, Sticks. I mean, Sticks, I feel bad for him too, man. You know, he came.
I even tried to get Morello on.
Sticks literally came. Sticks sent me a message.
Morello couldn't make it either.
Saying that he physically couldn't talk or he would have come on the show. Like, if there was any way he would have, he could have. And so I feel bad for him.
Get
so
well soon.
Get you, Jen. Who else do we have? And then Leaky Trooper. Leaky Trooper had a Lego breakdown. And he last minute too. So guys, I'm really sorry. I hope that all of you get better, man. I really do appreciate you guys.
Thanks to everyone who sent in a video too. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Those were great videos.
I got one more. Before we get out. We got one more video.
One more video.
Yes, we got one more video. This is this is mostly for me, but you guys can weigh in.
Hey guys, it's Ruben from the Dark Side Cave. First off, I hope everybody had a safe and great holiday season. Now, Pete and Marco asked me to do a video on items in my room. The issue is I can't choose because I love everything. So Pete, since this is your channel, I'm going to call you out. I want you to choose for me, and then I can get somebody else to choose after that, probably Astro or maybe even Sticks. So you're going to have to choose something. I don't care if it's cards, posters, statues, comic books, whatever it is. The only thing I ask is it's not figures, because this 6 rows, 21 columns, anywhere between 6 to 9 deep. That would take me a good hot minute. Now before I go, Zaggy, this message is for you, buddy. Just because I wear this shirt doesn't mean I ever work there. May the force be with you guys.
Dude, that's amazing. Figures.
They can take all those off the wall.
I want figures. I want figures.
He said no figures.
I don't know what's in the.
I don't care. Figures.
Listen,
the frame stuff almost looked like film, like cut film and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what those were.
Dude, there's a couple of things on that second level shelf up that I'm like, yo, call it this.
It's amazing because see, that's what I would do with my house if I had a house, and my wife wouldn't get upset with me. I would have my own thing.
I would do it if I was even half that talented. Do you see? I still got unopened fucking boxes and shit up in there. Like, I don't even know how he does the display, man. I'm looking in here going, damn, this.
Any suggestions? I know he put it out for me to choose.
Why don't we? Okay, this is what I want to do. Can we cut that video and put it out tomorrow as a small video so people can watch it a couple times?
Yeah.
Because I think they got to go back and forth and watch because there's some crazy shit.
I can throw it out on IG pretty easily.
Well, yeah, but or we can throw it here too.
I think Dwayne Scott is right in the chat. I think he actually broke into Lucas's house and filmed it from there.
9 deep. Y'all were like 2 deep. I was like, I think it's more than that on the pegs. 9 deep. Jeez. Oh,
yes,
geez.
That's what I said when you go, it's 3 deep. I'm like, more than 3.
All right, that's impressive. Okay. Pogs. Zaggy wants Pog. No, Pogs Champs. You're talking about Pogs Champs, Zag? Is that what you're saying? Pogs Champs?
That's what you said.
Poggers. Yeah, no. Poggers.
Star Wars Pogs.
No, I think. Are you talking about Star Wars Pogs or are you talking about Poggers, Zag? Which one are you talking about?
I think he's talking about Star Wars Pogs.
Really? Okay.
I think the slammers, man.
Either way, it's Poggers. Yeah. So put that video out there. We'll let you guys comment below on it, and they'll add on. He's just laughing. That was a great video. Thank you for that. Yeah.
You at least you got a room.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think? Like, if you look up there, do you see those tubs? What do you think are in those tubs? Like, I don't. And there's a whole thing over here. I can't. But I'm not as organized as him. So
yeah, exactly. It's organized. This is a hodgepodge. Yeah,
it's just.
I got tubs up there too above the.
Yeah, it's pick yourself out of a tub at this point, right? So, no, that's crazy. That's cool though. Thank you for that video too. That was awesome. It's been an amazing year. And then Pete, well, I was getting back to my thank yous for the end of the year so we could finally get out of here because Jedi looks like he's about to eat his arm off.
Yeah, everybody's one down.
But I forgot to say, Gonzo was in the chat too. Thank you. He offered to be on also, but he was on the road. Similar work to what my man Ruben does. So a lot of times, like Ruben's probably at work right now. I appreciate all you that tune in while you're at work. Just make sure you don't get fired over our show is all I'm saying.
Wait, one more thing too. JR, what do you guys have going on over on Team Nerd Herd?
Yeah, for sure.
I had the pleasure of being over there on a few shows as we won the Geek Factor trivia show.
As I like to say, tag team champions.
Exactly. Blockbuster boys.
Yep. We got Tuesday and Wednesday we're doing our like year in review. Like Tuesday's gonna be about comic books, best of all that normal shit. Wednesday is going to be movies, pop culture, all that stuff. Thursday we get back to our mail call.
All right.
We're doing we do a versus thing with us, and so it's going to be one of our friends, Justin from No Good Comics, and it's going to be a versus that our guy Alonzo made for all of us. So it's going to be him picking on all of us, kind of. So it should be a fun show.
Awesome.
And we got stuff.
They definitely have a good time over there. Make sure you're over there.
The link will be down below. If you guys aren't subscribed to Team Nerd Herd, make sure
give them the thumb, give them the love. You know what I mean?
Old channel and the upcoming new channel.
What's that?
So we've got a lot of big stuff coming, guys.
Cool.
So
cool. Well, I mean, anytime you need Pete to go get us another championship belt to hang on the rafters, we're down with that too. So
yeah, and anytime you guys aren't doing a Sunday show and you want to come back and join us.
Always have fun. I'll just make sure my mic works better next time.
As long as it worked for the promo, that's all that matters. So there you go. Team Nerd Herd has great shows. There you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff over there, guys.
So, and then, thank you. I want to thank Dusty, all the people who've been in the chat, Astro, everybody that plays our games all the time, Zaggy, Scott, all the algorithm guys, the Eds, and everything like that. We do really appreciate everything you do. Everybody who submitted, Darth Lopez, once again, thank you. And then Pete, it was tough. We decided to try to move over here for a while now, and we finally packed up our crap one day and moved.
Good move.
We did
move of the year. I call it the move.
You know what I mean? And you guys all sat there, and you guys really we had to do a lot of stuff ourselves. And you guys made it cool, man. It's fun.
Yeah. But still,
at the end of the day,
I still thank McClay for coming in and stopping by.
Yeah. No. Thank you always for everything. But and they were cool, and he was cool with the move too. So but it was like coming over here and having everybody just kind of come over, and everybody's finally got their groove, and it's the most fun. This is going into year 3, and it's really, McClay, I don't think was lying. It's hitting its stride, and it's really fun. Like I was starting to lose the fun of it, and this, especially when we move over and do that stuff, it's gotten back to being a little bit more relaxing and stuff like that. So I do appreciate it, boys. Thank you for all that. Like I said, we'll have everybody back on. We'll have some more people. We'll get you more great content. If there's segments you want us to revive, maybe March Madness, we will do another March Madness theme. Maybe this year.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
No, do it. You got it right for the first time in the year.
Well, you were talking. You were in the middle of promoting something, and
before we go off. Listen, one dad joke, really quick.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Listen, all right, give it to us.
Why does Boba Fett smell good? He wears cologne. Let's go.
Where's cologne?
Because he's a
clone. Get it.
Because he's a clone.
Oh.